Nvidia man, Brandon, Big A. We here for the chance gambits, win games. It's that and friends. Lived lavish before the rap shit came, a chat knew the name. Not regular hands, man, these is Franks. No time to sleep, already things at stake. New high time on the clock to beat. We don't clock the field, we don't clown around last place. Yeah, why he's referred to the first letter. No one on earth who's insured better. Trendsetter for sure with every endeavor. That burger urges me to get cheddar, then spend it on a combo meal. Bro's going through some shit that is also real. After going through a shift, Brandon's going through a shift. Brandon going to the Twitch, you'll never know how the ghosts feel. Whoa, holy moly, pulling up in the ghost. Holy moly, pulling up with the ghost. Roly roly, rolling up for the dolls. Who the goat of bros versus pros? Kinda feel I most should know. Okay, but whatever floats your boat. Pray we don't go toe to toe, kid. I'm a grustler if you ever noticed. I'll be in my castle in the Alps if you need me. Couple months ago, bro invented the sheesh meme. Probably busy following all his teachings. Fucking who dat? No, you ain't never seen me. Every white kid sidekicks wanna be me. You ain't like this, righteous on the PB. Put in time to be like Dow on the mind sweep. Gotta grind if you wanna shine like my timepiece. Yeah, okay. Big A, whoa. Coming from a spot, you a big A-hole. Never would've thought this is insane. Go it on the stakes, you could be man.
Yo!
You know you can't afford my rates. In California with some foreign estate. And if you ever catch me at a downtime, no, you ain't ready for a quarter rate.
Okay. One of the original classics. One of the bangers. Wait, am I on the right thing? Okay, perfect. Hello! Hello, 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 hello. Good to see you. Royalty, Abe, Otham, Izaki, Wardeno. Thank you all for the primes. 4 back-to-back-to-back primes. CLC Wolf, thank you for the 27 months. Let's hope this button works. Yes! Oh, good to see you. Hello, good to see you. It's not, oh wait, what the fuck? Ashkan Kiani, thank you for the fucking what? 10 gifted? And we got a flannel on? Wait a minute, we're starting this day right. We're starting this day right. Hello, 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 hello. All systems operational. Random guy, thank you for the 4 months. Flannel and shorts. You don't know if I'm wearing shorts. I could be wearing a fucking full suit bottoms. Okay? Don't ever assume. Don't ever assume. It's hot in here. Yeah, don't. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. Anthrix 3D, thank you for the prime. Yo, I think your suit bottoms are ripped right at the knee line. Yeah, well, that's just unfortunate. It's because I can't get new ones. I shouldn't be poor shamed just because my suit bottoms have worn down to the knee. And I feel like that's a bit of a yikes from chat. I got to be honest with you. It's a bit of a yikes. Also, it's fashionable. It's a little bit different. All you guys want to do is like live in your little cubicle, your little box, you know, of everything the same. And I'm trying to mix it up. Mogi, thank you for the prime. Avi, prime time. Thank you for the prime. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? Actually, I was going to say turkey. It's ham. It's ham. I like ham on fucking Thanksgiving. That's my honest, except if the cranberry's really good. Turkey is a C or B tier food that goes up 2 tiers with the right cran. So it could go up to S, but that's sort of how I see it. You know, I'm working on a book. Open Roadie, thank you for the tier 1. Hey, Dr. Carb. Chunky Nosher. I may actually watch this week. No, I may not. I don't know. I'll see. But I was waiting until after their documentary. But now that it's over, I can watch yours because I won't feel like I'm undermining if there's some of the same footage. Chives, thank you for the prime. New Money Works got you in the video. Bro, we're doing the NVIDIA Oracle OpenAI. We're just watching each other's videos, bro. He didn't left a comment on the last one. It was cool to meet you. Hey, J-Con, first person who was at the live show. I got to meet a lot of people at the live show. It was very nice. It was very fun. If you were at the live show, Fango was at the live show. They say you should never meet your heroes. I'm glad you met me on Saturday. Are you saying that you're my hero? Or what? I don't understand. What are you saying? Or if I'm your hero, then why would you never meet them? Why are you happy to meet me? I get it. What you're saying is they should never meet your hero. You met me and you're happy because I'm not your hero. Okay. Unnecessary. I didn't assume I was your hero. There's no need to make it so pointed. There's no need to make it so pointed. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Giga brain analysis is the way probably exactly. That's why I get to the bottom of it. It's yo, Big Ed, you listen to Nickelback occasionally. Love from the UK. Is this what you worry about in Britain? You guys have bigger problems than this. Whether or not I listen to Photograph every now and then shouldn't be a problem to you. But sometimes I do. I mean, it's just a banger. I don't know. They peaked music. I think music peaked. I saw they canceled the jobs and GDP report. Yeah, dude. Yes, they did. The jobs report, the inflation report, and the GDP report have all been either redacted or reduced or shut down. So that's always a good sign. It's probably, let's be fair, it's probably because they were too good. It's probably because inflation was too low, the jobs were too good, and the GDP was mooning. And so they probably stopped it because they didn't want us to panic at how good things were going. We wouldn't have believed them they were so good. That's not even feasible because Trump would be personally right. You know the truth, especially if that was true. I mean, he does that anyway. He does that anyway. But yes, we are seeing some very weird things about. Also, this was funny. Some speaking of Enron, some NVIDIA memo leaked where they went like point by point through all of the, rumors that are going around. They're like, hey, we're not Enron. Do you guys know? I mean, by the way, I agree that NVIDIA is not Enron. By the way, I want to be clear. I poke some fun. I do think there's some questions about this whole AI bubble that I have will continue to reiterate, but I don't think NVIDIA is Enron. However, it is really funny that when Enron was found to be a massive fraud and was delisted from the stock exchange, the NASDAQ, do you know who replaced them in 2001? It was NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the company that replaced Enron in the stock exchange. That is like fucking crazy. That is the slot went out and the slot went in, and it was, what a wild ride. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Real life is truly cinema. That's what I think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of you guys are like, oh, this is like not fun to be living through such crazy times. And it's like, it's cinema. Okay? There's no downsides. There's no downsides. And we all have equal economic security right now, and we're all hitting the problems the same. And we can all agree on that. So, Quilby, thank you for the Quilby W with the prime. 27 minutes. Hey, Big A, great meeting you. I was the one with the disposable camera. It was nice meeting you. It was very nice meeting you. It was nice meeting everybody. Dude, people aren't going to believe me in this chat. And it's sad that you won't believe me. But I actually think that was how do I put this? I don't want to sound strange. It was such a great group of people. Okay, I'm gonna say the word normal. Everyone was fucking normal. Everyone was normal. It was like it was shockingly normal. Everyone was great. I'm not kidding. Like, it was, and that's widely agreed. That's widely agreed. Like, I don't know. It wasn't, I wouldn't say shockingly like in a bad way, but you wouldn't assume. Everyone was like it was just great. It was fun. Here's what I'll tell you. So we were thinking, this is not confirmation or anything. We were thinking about one day doing some lemonade stand live shows, with Vox. And I think Doug and Aiden had such a good time at this live show that they want to do it more now. I think they'd be more, I don't know. It was like everyone had a good time. Everyone was nice. It was just fun. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I had a good time. Big A, nice to meet you. I was the one with the creepy camcorder. Oh yeah, there was some people that were weird. Okay. This guy, big man, small shaft though, did show up with like the Joker camcorder, and then we instead of a selfie, we took a fucking like a message to Gotham. It was like, yeah. It was pretty good though. I'd say it was pretty sick. No, everyone was nice. People were talking to each other. People were having a good time. I think the name tags is a good idea. I think people felt confident to like talk to people, introduce themselves. People were vibing during the album. I don't know. I thought it was great. I think, we had tech issues I heard on the live stream, but in person, it went really well. Big guy, I have to confess, I raised my hand when you asked for a dermatologist. You're not a dermatologist. Okay. Wait, so are you the one that said all three of us were certified bald because of your experience in dermatology? And you didn't have any experience? Interesting. Very, very interesting. I guess that means I still have hope. I told this story, but I'm not kidding. I talked to a sponsor person, an agent, I guess, agency. And I was like, please fucking get me a finasteride sponsorship. I'm not joking anymore. Okay. We're getting it started. We're starting it next year for the year of health. Okay. We're getting on one of them, any of the brands. That's the fucking plan. Just go to Turkey or whatever. Bro, first of all, I'm going wherever Elon Musk went. I'm not going to fucking Turkey. I'm going to fucking wherever he went. Somewhere fucking crazy. I'm going to fucking the Maldives or where Mars, North Korea, wherever he fucking went. Nvidia is saying they're not Enron. HR to make a core on Nvidia heads. Fucking true, dude. Thank you for the 29. My dad's a genuine hair transplant doctor in Canada. Okay, let's relax. I don't need a hair transplant. Let's relax. I'm just talking about a little fin, okay? A little fin on the top. That's it. I'm not fucking, all right? Maybe in 10 years we'll talk about a hair transplant. I'm not, it makes me think Nvidia is Enron with how much they say they aren't. Well, I wouldn't say that's fair. Okay, because that's like an unlosable battle. If you say, oh, you're not Enron, well then that means you must be Enron because you're protesting too much. And then if you say you are Enron, it's like, well, that's proof you're Enron. Okay, I just think Nvidia has a vested interest in nobody, not even their own book. Like I'm so much less worried about Nvidia's books than all of their customers' books. But I think Nvidia is just like, well, let's all just avoid looking at it. How was it meeting your favorite chatter? In my mind, all my chatters are my favorite chatters. So technically, I met them all that day. Willem the Friend, thank you for the 55 months. If there's someone whose books I'm okay with, it's a Carvana. Yes, sir. A good clean bill of health, Carvana. Can't go wrong with old CVNA. Still hasn't met me. Have I never met you, Yeti, in person? You haven't been on like you weren't at Mogul Money Live, or you weren't at guess not, huh? Guess we never met in person. I feel like I've You weren't at Fast 52. You weren't at. They say never meet your heroes, Yeti. If I meet you, maybe you'll attack me or something. X Beyond gone there for 32 months. Big A, I'm chilling in my dog cage now. Hope everything's good with you. Are you a dog or is there a bigger problem? Are you a talking dog? That's the kind of the best outcome here. I'm suffering. Everything else would be a little bit disconcerting. Don't want. Really nice meeting you, Big A. I was the handsome one. I immediately know who you're talking about. Good to meet you. I got a lot of people, this is not a joke, a lot of people who said I was taller than they thought in real life. However, there was a lot of people who mogged me by like 2 feet. I did get that from a lot of people. I swear to God, a lot of people told me that. But then there was a lot of people who were like, quite tall. There was quite a tall group of chatters, honestly. If I had to guess. Bro is 1,65 max. He's saying I'm 165 dude max. Get that European shit out of here, Sandboxy 97. 1,65. Go eat a fucking baguette before you comment on my height. I just ate a baguette, dude. What the fuck? Did you get it in America? If it's okay then. Bro is 16'4", glizzy's tall. That doesn't make. I shook his hand twice. You have very soft hands. Parentheses compliment. Oh, thanks. Thanks. It's a strange thing to say, but since you put parentheses compliment, now I feel good about it. Yeah, I shook everyone's hand and I didn't get sick. That's actually crazy. Dude, I was so confident. I was telling Ari, I was like, I'm sick for sure. After the event was over, I'm like, I'm 100% sick. I will be sick. I'm going to be sick tomorrow. I can already tell. And then the next day I wasn't sick. And today I'm not sick. So that's pretty fucking good. I survived. I did not get Atricon rot. Iconic. Think of the 11 months. Flagerino. Nady Boy. They've been tier 1. 6 months in advance. Nady Boy. What the hell? Thank you for the 6 months in advance. Who knows what we'll be doing in 6 months? Probably storming the Capitol to help. Storming the Capitol to counter protest the other rioters, okay? To get them out so we can give it back to Trump. That's my plan. Ended up wait, has anyone made an Atricon D's nuts joke yet? What is the joke? What do you think the joke is there? There's no one made it because there's no joke to be had. You can't just say the name of the event and No, that's so stupid. That is so stupid. No one talk like this in person. just to be clear, there was like hundreds of people there in person and nobody talked like this. And then you guys get online and you're like, oh, what about Atricon D's nuts? Okay? It's a shocking difference. All right? They weren't all thinking it. Although I did have to sign, this is not a euphemism. I had to sign a literal hot dog. I had to sign a fucking glizzy. At Ackerman, that was you. Yeah. Like people were bringing up things to sign, and then this person brought a glizzy. And then this is a real true story. I signed the glizzy, very hard to sign because it doesn't take Sharpie well. And then someone else grabbed the glizzy out of their hand and then ate it. Well, ate like half of it. And then they said, can you sign it again on the half that wasn't eaten? I'm not kidding. This sounds insane. This exactly has happened. This did happen. I assume it was a planned bit. Normal. I guess I'm undermining the normality here with these stories. But you're only hearing the no, it was actually quite normal. It's like talking like a Redditor at Christmas dinner. There's a time and place for that, and it's in this chat. First of all, this chat's not a time and place to talk like a Redditor. Talking like a Redditor, there's time and place for that is in hell, where you belong. There's no normal time to talk like a Redditor. And then at Christmas dinner, you shouldn't be talking like any sort of online movement, Redditor or HRock chatter or anything. You should talk like a family member. So that just happened. Wait, have you seen this guy? Wait, I sent myself funny TikToks and IG Reels and YouTube Shorts because I might want to watch them. Although I'm going to talk about MTG here in a second. And I ain't talking about Magic the Gathering. Zoomer? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to relate to the Zoomers here. And I know the Zoomers love one thing, and it's short form video. Yeehaw! Nothing wrong with a short form video. Golly! If there's one thing I love, it's short form video. Honestly, the shorter the better. The shorter the better. Because that way I don't have to think about it too much. I just think it makes life a little more worth living. If you don't mind me saying. Damn, bro. I am clicking all these damn reels. And I don't see the one that I want to share with you. Come on now. It was so appropriate to what I was talking about. But here's the problem is I have these links that I want to share. But by the time I get to the link, it's like the moment's been missed. Okay, now you guys are pressuring me. You're making fun of me. That doesn't seem fair. Calling me a boomer. That's obviously not appropriate. You guys know that I'm up to date with all the latest and greatest technology. I'm hip with it. You guys are saying things that just seem, if anything, like lashing out in a way. Does that sound like you guys? Oh, here it is. Wait. I think it's this guy. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Sorry, it took me forever, but it's so worth it. Okay? How do you full screen an IG reel? Dude, honestly, I think that okay, try this. You can't hear it? Oh, I'll just tell you what he's saying. Just laugh and then let's try this one.
Me. Get it? Because I'm trash. Oh, and notice how it's empty inside. Kind of like my soul. Sometimes I wonder why my humor is so dark. Then I realize I've spent my entire life being depressed as fuck. And I'm like, oh, that explains a lot. But if you're like me and you also have crippling depression, you'd understand why I literally relate to a trash can. Yeah, this is literally me during any social interaction. Can I go home now? Okay, does anyone else find it fucking depressing that I actually relate to a fucking trash can? Okay, why did I just see this trash can and I was literally...
This exists in real life, and I thought it was very accurate.
I can't with adulting today. I'm just a baby. I don't know how to adult. Well, only 1 hour 35 minutes till I could go home to my doggos.
Well, this is just
Bunch
me.
of cute little chonkers they are. Can you repeat what you just said? I'm feeling a little confuzzled. Does not compute. Brain the size of a small bean. This is my impression of me waiting for my break to start.
I like his attitude, honestly.
I don't even know what I'm doing at this job. I kind of just push a bunch of buttons and then I'm like,
me
okay,
too.
I guess that one did a thing?
Me too.
I can't with adult.
Oh, this was funny too.
Okay, genuinely, what the fuck? Are you on drugs right now? Yeah, we're gonna pretend you didn't just say that. Okay. Are you high? No, genuinely, are you high? Oh, yeah, that was just straight up weird. Moving on. I love how it's my first time meeting you, and I already know you are one of the weirdest people on earth.
This is
okay,
chat.
genuinely, what the fuck? Are you on drugs right now?
This is chat, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend you didn't just say that.
Yeah. This is fucking chat, dude. You guys do this. It's funny because I will fully admit that at one point in my life, I kind of did this. I remember this is when I was studying abroad in Korea and I was hanging out with other international students. And my roommate was kind of a jokester, and I'd be like, bro, that's stupid. Every time he would say something crazy, and I'd be like, bro, that's stupid. And then finally he's like, bro, stop calling everything stupid. You know, like laugh along and go with it, you know, vibe. And I was like, damn, he's kind of right. I am kind of like, I was not yes-anding. I was getting humor mogged. Okay? You still do this now, man? You're stupid and you're banned. About that, bitch. All right. I don't have to change on my stream. Literally Malcolm's regular friends, Malcolm in the middle. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You do this to Punch, Atrioc, don't lie. More people should have done it to Punch when he was growing up. Then maybe he'd be okay. Okay, the problem is he's been enabled. That's the problem. Dude, Punch messaged me. Well, this is a little Punch update, dude. Punch gives me a random life update out of nowhere every 2 months. Let's see what Punch told me. Punch said, yo, I'm feeling sick. Bought 3 pairs of shoes. I'm going to play Witch It with all our friends soon. I made tacos and wolfed down 7 of them. Wait, this is a different message 2 days later? Bought 3 pairs of shoes. And a 12-pack of Mr. Pibb, parentheses, 0 sugar. I need more things to drink that aren't carbonated, though, so I'll add the collagen powder I take to it. Also have a new Monster flavor in my fridge ready to try for when I'm feeling better. Hope it's a 10 on the Atrioc meter, the ranking system I use for drinks. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And then he said, why don't we do a stream where I apply for jobs, but you do the interviews for me? And I said, that sounds hilarious. I'm down. And then later he messaged me, the interview thing's not going to happen. Even with all the lying, I'm not getting anywhere. I guess I'm not lying hard enough. Which I do feel bad about, but it's just, Punch has got a lot going on, bro. Got a lot going on. Should have said he was valedictorian at Harvard. Bro, he's not doing that, but he's kind of similar. What is this? What is this? Wait, Donald Trump is reportedly pressing the Ellisons to make a new Rush Hour film at Paramount. And then Dan Carney said, what happened in that Zoran meeting? I don't know. But that is very funny that the president is pushing for Rush Hour 4. Do you think that's the problem right now, Mr. President? Is our lack of Rush Hour sequels? That everyone would be pretty happy unless, or people, yeah. You guys are all saying yep. So if you had a button that would fix the economy and a button that would release a new Rush Hour trilogy, honestly, could be the same button. I can see his point now. I can see his button. I can see his points. 4, 5, and 6? How old's Jackie Chan now? Bro's got to be up there. How old is Jackie Chan? 71? Bro's about to be president. God damn, 71. He can't do 3 more Rush Hour movies. Well, he might be 72 as of soon. Rush Hour 3 came out in 2007, right before the big financial crisis. Coincidence? So what you're saying is the second we stopped producing or making Rush Hour films, the economy tanked and has never recovered, is what you're trying to imply. Because another way to read that is that a Rush Hour movie is the harbinger of a recession. And if we release 4 right now, we'll get a crisis worse than 2008. An actor from Hollywood past 70 is perfect for government. Bro, President Jackie Chan wouldn't be so bad. You guys, I would fuck with. I paused. I would fuck with President Jackie Chan. Rush Hour 4. Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, and Joe Biden rescue the president's daughter again. I think they only did that once. Is the plot of Rush Hour 3 they rescue the president's daughter? I don't remember Rush Hour 3. And they go to Paris. That's all I remember. Isn't that 2? No, that's 1. That's not even 1. I mean, it's an ambassador's daughter in 1. And in 2, it's like a fake casino to launder money. And then in 3, they go to Paris. I don't know why. I haven't watched this movie in a decade. You should rewatch Rush Hour 1 and possibly even 2 every 5 years because they're good for the soul and the mind. Rush Hour 3 you can skip. Respect 3? Absolutely don't respect 3. Only people that respect 3 are people who are really young in 2007. That's it. The only people who respect 3 are essentially Zoomers, right? You had to be born in like, you kind of have to be born in like 2001 or later. And then you saw Rush Hour 3 like in 2010 on DVD or something. And then you're like, wow, it's a good movie, but it's it obviously isn't, but yes. Rush Hour 4 is the part 2 of 3 that it needs. Please don't put it back in Paris. Being born in 2001 is fucked up. It's like low-key you're responsible for 9/11. Damn, in a way, right? It's actually a really, wait a minute. Like low-key. Like low-key. Uh-oh, responsible for Chernobyl then? Like, what am I responsible for? The Berlin Wall falling? That's pretty cool, actually. One of my best friends was born on 9/11/2001. I think she did it. Welcome back, 9/11 hijacker. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. A dark spirit. That's all I'm saying. Just want to put this out there. I got the job. Hey! Congratulations, Tribu Grim. Congratulations. W. Congratulations on getting the job, if you're being serious. Congrats. That's awesome. Good looking out. Big dubs. Dude, I just got fired unironically. What is equivalent exchange? There must be balance. Oh, God. We can never have a too unemployed chat, bro. Or a too employed chat. Yo, I just got a 14K raise last week. Uh-oh, someone's pay is getting docked. Fuck. Check your paychecks, folks. 14K is missing. Oh, brother. This is such a terrible mindset. The idea is that every chatter is sad for someone else's success because it means it's a zero-sum game. That's not how it works, folks. That's not how it works. As a college grad, I got a job and lost it in a span of 4 months. What happened here? Did you think you got fired? Like it wasn't working out, or the job didn't, what happened? What, you guys are saying spam, but I think he meant span. I don't think he ate too much canned meat. I think he probably meant span. I work in HR sometimes. I be telling people they're hired and then ghosting them. Dude, fuck off. That's so crazy. That's so crazy to say with a Lamau. That's crazy. I think he's joking. You guys relax with that. That's so funny. Least evil HR person. Okay, not that I'm a fan of HR in any way, but I do see all these memes. I see all these memes of like, where's the one? You know, all the HR memes. And this is the one. This is the one. Wait, I need to see the actual original. This meme. This one. But I just think it's a little misplaced, the anger. Not that HR is fucking beneficial in any real way, but they're not the reason there's no jobs at the company. You know, it's not like the company's like, we have to hire all these roles, and then HR is hiring nobody out of a pure glee. It's not. They are the middleman in that situation. Big A, pull up the Anne Hathaway HR meme. Anne Hathaway HR meme. Anne Hathaway HR meme. What is this? POV. HR lady who majored in psychology at a no-name school in Florida is about to throw your resume in the trash. Again, I get that it's funny, okay? But when you see, like, I don't know, for example, like, pull this up. Like, I think a lot of these jobs are all these memes made by people who work in software engineering. And it's like, it's not, this to this is not because they started hiring more Anne Hathaway HR ladies. Okay. This is software engineering jobs. Okay. This is not, it's not because Anne Hathaway started smiling more. That's not the reason, bro. That's not the reason. There's not like a bunch of jobs that are waiting there if these gatekeepers weren't in your way. I think it's a funny meme. Don't get me wrong. Can't rule it out. I can rule it out, but I guess you can't rule it out. That's fine. I don't know. There's a real correlation between the birth of Anne Hathaway and all of my problems. He makes a strong case. Is that why some people don't like Anne Hathaway? Because she happens to coincide with their problems? That's interesting. That's interesting. I do know that Anne Hathaway started getting more famous around the 2008 recession. Weird, right? It's almost like everyone else's despair is her gain, in a way. That feels weird. It's causation, not correlation. You sick? Sounding a little stuffy. I'm not sick. Don't imply that I'm sick. I'm not sick. Wait a minute. Where was Anne Hathaway on 9/11? Anne Hathaway movie 2001. Anne Hathaway's first big film was Princess Diaries, which happened in 2001. Wait a minute. Does Anne Hathaway's success mean the rest of our failure? Wait. This theory has legs. Holy fuck. Okay, well, tomorrow, if we hear that Anne Hathaway, like, wins an Oscar or something, get in the bunker. Get in the bunker. Holy fuck, dude. Osama bin Hathaway. Okay, relax with that. She's a fortune vampire. I don't think there's... She's about to release Devil Wears Prada 2. Mr. President, get down. I'm not going to say. Sweet Eyebrows, thank you for the prime. As long as Emma Stone keeps acting, no other actress is winning an Oscar. World's biggest Emma Stone fan. Person who believes no other woman on earth can compare to Emma Stone in the field of acting ever. Yeah, she's good. She's a good actress. I don't she certainly hasn't been winning every single best actress every year since she's been active. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's not that, the years she didn't win, she asked not to. Oh, I see. You guys remember when Macklemore won the Grammy over Kendrick and then texted him sorry and then posted a screenshot of that text on his Instagram? that was the most like pick me ass thing I'd ever. Oh, he was so real for that. I couldn't imagine a faker thing to do. He's so fake for that. He's the most performative. That was crazy. That shit was crazy, bro. Small ant to you when you lost Speedrunner of the Year. He did do that, but he didn't post it. That's the thing. Kept it real. Bro, what if you really felt bad? If you really felt bad, then first of all, you got two options. One, you can decline the award and give it to fucking Kendrick. Two, you could text him in private and not make it a thing. Those are two ways if you fucking feel bad. Or three, you could go up there on stage, accept the award, then do a performance. Just do what Kanye did and take the mic. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Drake said, to name just Kendrick, that shit made me feel funny. No, in that case, you robbed everybody. We all need text messages. That was the other funny part. Was Drake feeling some type of way because he also lost and didn't get a text? Shit's funny. Drake type of guy to say that for sure. No, Drake did say this. It's not a joke. That's a real thing Drake said. Type shit, bro. Ian or something for the 49 months. Icon Willie, thank you for the 56. Recursian, thank you for the 26. Shovel Salesman, thank you for the prime. Just Corey, thank you for the 13 months. Foxy, the God, thank you for the 33. It was great seeing you at the live show. Sweet Eyebrows, thank you for the prime. Pill Pop and Hobo, thank you for the prime. Marshy is Mellow, thank you for the 31 months. Bro, I watched yesterday. I didn't do shit yesterday. Kind of recovered. Live show recovery. So I took the crew of the show to Chili's. That was kind of fun. I did that, and then I sat on my couch and I watched trash movies. I watched all the movies that I talked about in my Marketing Monday Live. I watched Focus with Will Smith. Still kind of bangs. Still kind of bangs. I like it. It's a dumb movie, but I liked it. And then I watched Fracture with Ryan Gosling. And then I watched what else did I watch? I watched The Chair Company. I was upset you didn't put the Krispy Kreme scene from Power Rangers in that Prez. There's so many I could have put, bro. I could have gone forever. The original draft of that thing had like 50 more clips, but I cut them down because it can't just be the clips of bad product placement. We can watch it right now. You want to see the Krispy Kreme? Krispy Kreme product placement. Scene. Power Rangers.
You set it down in the steps.
Where? What does that mean? What's it called?
It's a Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. This is a special place.
Very special.
It must be.
We gotta go to Krispy Kreme, Jason. What?
Krispy Kreme! Not there. Rita and her golden boy haven't found Krispy Kreme yet.
Okay, kid, you hold him there. Zach, Billy,
This is pretty egregious.
and the next one says.
Honestly, this should have been included. This is really good. This is really good. Should even eat stuff.
You Krispy Kreme motherfucker.
That's just good marketing. You know what I'm saying? That's just good marketing. Though the Subway ads and community count as good ads. I thought the Subway product placement was good in community because they made it funny and part of the plot to the point where nobody's mad that it exists as a thing. I thought it was great. They're not trying to trick you, bro. Same with the Honda stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. Look up Jack and Jill's product placement. They stopped doing Behind Duggan. No. People hate on the Jack and Jill product placement, but actually, Dunkachino is very funny. And it's more of a commentary on product placement. Okay? The movie's terrible. This is probably the best part of the movie. Just being clear. I mean, that's funny. That's a funny commentary. So I think that's not even bad. Big A, would you buy a Honda Fit again if your old one dies? I think they discontinued the Honda Fit line, actually. I'm actually pretty certain of that. I think the Honda Fit has been discontinued. Yeah, after 2020, due to declining sales and a shift in consumer preferences toward SUVs. But they still sell them in Europe under the name Honda Jazz. Fucking Europe, dude. Honda Jazz. What is it, Jazz Friday? Yeah, just continue. Honda Fit. I mean, you know, it's like all good things that came to an end. It was the greatest car ever made. A true beast, a true demon on the road. And now it's gone. You need a Ford F-150. What if I just get the biggest fucking most American truck I can get? Or like a stretch Hummer. What if I get like a stretch Hummer or a Cybertruck? And that way people know that I'm cool. My plan was to drive that Honda Fit into the ground until it fucking literally collapses and then buy a Chinese EV. But it's possible the tariffs still will not be gone. It's possible it still may not be gone by then. Have you seen this type of ad in movies? Yeah. We showed that on stream. We did that on Marketing Monday or something. Oddly Human Day for the 6 months. I'm not sure yet, but I will. How many people will you kill in a Chinese? This is your first time chat message. What is the implication? That I would drive my regular car fine, but when I get a Chinese EV, I'm going to be running people over on the road? Just steal Ludwig's K truck. The keys are in the glove box. I don't want that fucking truck. The thing's on the wrong side. I don't want that fucking truck. He doesn't even drive that truck, bro. He rides his little fucking scooter. Pretty much everywhere, and then he drives the other car. Thoughts on the Subway K-drama? I have not seen this.
내가 다이어트 할 때 가장 힘들었던 게 뭔 줄 알아? 참는 거.
제이야, 천천히 먹어.
그래. 야, 너 그러다 체하겠다.
이게 다 누구 때문인데? 배고파 죽겠다는 사람 굳이
I know what they're
여대학까지
saying,
끌고
by the way,
와서
'cause I'm fluent.
샌드위치 먹이는 이유가 뭔데?
잘생겼잖아. 알바생들이.
그래도 뭐 맛은 있네.
You want me to translate? They're talking about how delicious Subway is. Oh.
그래서 그만 참기로 결심했는데 첫사랑을 마주한 거 있지? 운명처럼. 나도 처음엔 안 믿겼다? 첫사랑을 마주친 거 있지? 운명처럼.
주문 도와드릴까요?
여자친구 있어요?
여자친구는 없는데요. 널 만나고 단조롭기만 하던 일상이 바뀌었어. 저희 아직 오픈 전인데. 기다리는 순간마저 행복하더라. 그런데 왜 넌 다른 곳을 보고 있어?
네가 좋아하는 것들 모두 덩달아 좋아하게 되었을 때
This is not my experience at Subway restaurants.
문득 그런 생각이 들더라. 왜 너는 나를 모르지?
But it's basically a
모르는 게
guarantee.
아니라
If
관심이
you're
없는 거
lonely,
아니야?
just go to Subway and you
사랑은
will find the
구걸하는
love
게
of your
아니잖아.
life.
관심 없는 사람 좋아하는 거 그거 되게 바보 같은 거야. 사소한 행동들 하나하나 전부 너를 사랑해서였는데. 나 이제 솔직해.
This is my experience every time, and I go every day for it. So you found your love of your life, your Subway, a dozen times, but you still want more? You've broken a lot of hearts then. Every time you go to Subway, you're greedy. You got to eat fresh. That's gross. Got to meet the 12th love of my life. Imagine it's Chili's instead of Subway, and you'll understand. The thing about Chili's is you don't need to find the love of your life at a Chili's because everyone there is the love of your life. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't need to find the love of your life. You just love your life when you're at a Chili's. That's really how you say it. It's just everything that was bad suddenly starts feeling like not such a big deal when you're at Chili's because there's such a nice, friendly vibe. The game's on. They keep breaking up with me when I demand we get matching Subway tattoos. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You weren't kidding when you said you're switching sponsors? I don't have any sponsors, bro. All the sponsors, I talked to this agency person. All the sponsors they bring me are like shit I have to say no to. I got a sponsor today, a request. They said, this is the biggest one we've ever, it was like 6 figures. And I was like, well, hey, I'm interested. And it was for like a website that lets you to fake invest in content creators. It's like they have this massive disclosure thing. It's like, this is all extremely speculative, illiquid, and a high degree of risk. You could lose your entire investment. It's like crowdfunding content creators with your own money. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't promote this. Like the money would be really nice, but it's such an like people are going to punt their money on fucking Hank Green or something. And people are going to lose their fucking shirt. Dude, it's not, let me gamble on squeaks. Take a risk on squeaks. My super conservative mom just told me she's going to put a rack a month into NVIDIA starting now. I don't know what fucking Fox News-esque article told her to do that. I don't know how to explain it. It's a terrible idea. That's so funny. Never a better time to start than when they're the most valuable company in the world by far. 5 trillion valuation. 4 trillion valuation. Never a better time to start dollar cost averaging right in, dude. I think that's people say buy. I had a chart for this. Wait, I had not a chart. Dude, I'll never find it. I get. Wait. I'm going to recreate a meme for you live. I'm going to recreate a meme for you live because I don't have it. Okay? So it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. Okay. Don't worry. This is incredible. Well, you're about to get a true experience. Okay? Wow, this is really good. Wait, it's coming together. Don't look yet. Don't look yet. Okay? Perfect. This is the meme. All right, wait. And then the monkey says bye. Okay? And then when it's at the bottom and it's red, they sell. This is This is what I've seen. This is the retail investor. Retail investors, if something is cheap, they go, well, I shouldn't buy it then. It's obviously shitty. And then if something is fucking overwhelmingly pumped, that's like, oh, well, that means it'll happen forever. I have to buy. Like they only feel confident to buy once it's already ran up massively. Oh, we have yikes. Esports stock market? Fucking true. Fucking true. Wow, fucking old school throwback with that. Damn, what a reference. What a fucking reference. You can actually bet on the streamer awards on Polymarket, like only 1K though. All right, punt it all on Squeaks for the surprise streamer of the year award winner. The returns will be insane. Cutie Pola Polosi. Cutie could pay the whole budget of the show if she did a little rigging. It's just the craziest results. Fucking Slime wins the Sapphire Award. Fucking 10,000x return on Polymarket. I don't know. That was the vote. That's what happened. Isn't that what insiders doing on these betting markets though? Actually, holy fuck, guys! I think Radish BBQ might have stumbled onto something here. They alone might have figured out that the incentives for these betting markets is gonna put money in insiders' pockets. People might have a fucking incentive to use their knowledge on these betting sites. Wait a fucking minute. Now that you say it, I actually am thinking that actually could be true. You might have stumbled. You might have blown this whole thing wide open. Hey, stay safe, Radish Barbecue. This story is too big. They might try to take you out for this. Two baseball players have been banned because of shit like this. Bro, they have like half the NBA in an investigation right now. Half the teams are getting like subpoenaed by the FBI. There's like there's ill effects of gambling everywhere. Bro, baseball should rig it, spice things up. I think baseball should rig it. That's my fucking hot take. Baseball should just go like WWE. They should literally try to make the sport more. They should have villains and heroes and shit. They should have like Ohtani come out and give a speech. They should make it more like wrestling, bro. I think that'd be way more fun than watching them actually try to be the best baseball players. Yeah, like Ohtani should come out and say like some heel shit. He should like burn an American flag or something. And the crowd's going, boo. And then he laughs. And then he tosses a ball up, home runs it. That shit would be fucking awesome, dude. That shit would be awesome. People would fucking tune in for that. Logan Paul comes in a big Prime outfit. Yeah. Let him play, ref. Let him pray. Let him play. Would Lud still love him? Maybe more. Is Shark's gonna love the steroid Olympics? Is that a real thing? I thought it was a joke. Steroid Olympics. Olympics. Wait, I gotta start. I gotta. Oh my God, the enhanced games. Wait, I think I've seen this. The enhanced games are coming in 2026, where everyone can use performance enhancing drugs. What's the difference? Hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? Okay, zing. But I'm... Brought to you by Polymarket? Yeah. Interesting. That's happening. So it's going to be... Looks like it's all swimming and weightlifting and athletics. Interesting. Kind of strange though, because what if all the records in the enhanced games are worse than the real ones? And then everyone starts to go, interesting. Very odd. It could happen. I know. I fucking know. I'm sorry, but those Phelps medals are Mickey Mouse. He was enhanced. Never speak ill of Michael Phelps, okay? The only thing he was enhanced on is a little bit of weed. My man chiefed. Okay? That's an American hero right there. That's a patriot. If D-Day 2 was today, he would lead the charge and storm the beach without a boat, looking like this. And then the German bullets would bounce off the medals, and we would all fucking follow behind him. So, don't ever fucking talk shit on Michael Phelps. He was shaped like a frog. Okay, make a sport where the ideal body type is like a frog, and then shocked Pikachu face when after fucking decades of competition, you get a frog-like dude. What a shock, dude. What a fucking shock. Okay? Why don't we make a sport where height matters and then shocking face we get fucking Wemby after decades? Okay? That's just how it's going to go. That's how it works. JC won't make it 38 months. Okay, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a shocking political development while I was doing this live show, so I couldn't respond to it on time. But Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned and made an 11-minute video explaining her reason to resign. It's actually pretty insane. Fox News alert, autism alert. The files got her? No, I don't think the files got her. It's so insane you'll agree with 90% of it. Yeah, I haven't watched the full thing, but the quotes I've saw, I was like, damn, I mean, she kind of spinning. So I do want to watch it. And I want to see, again, you know, if you want a little context here, this is in response, I suppose, recently to the public feud she's been having with Trump over the Epstein files as she pushes to get them released. And her resigning is actually a bit of a problem for the Republican majority. So she's done damage to Trump's coalition and psychological damage by breaking ranks here. So it's actually pretty fucking interesting, and I do want to see what she said. I'm interested in hearing it.
The post that she put up moments ago. This is her message to Georgia's 14th district.
I hope there's no
She is saying thank you to her constituents again. She wrote that long note on social media. She also released the video attached to this post. We just got the video in-house. Let's play it. This is the full thing.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas.
Okay, I'll say a lot of truth in that, especially in the past few decades, especially if you're like young, it's like your whole life. So 100%. I will say that's like not entirely true of all American history, and certainly things have gotten better in different decades of American history. But we've had a pretty declining crop of candidates in recent years, and especially I think like in especially because it's been all boomers, and as boomers have gotten older and more out of touch, it's just gotten worse and worse. I definitely feel like a part of it is the deep stranglehold at every level of politics, from local all the way to the top, that boomers have had, and as they've gotten extremely old and extremely wealthy, it's become more of a problem.
Businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous overpriced.
Yeah, I will say it's the polling is we talked about this, the healthcare premiums going up as a result of the shutdown, not passing the Affordable Care Act extensions. The polling is pretty strong that people are mad about it. Like it's seemingly going to help or going to hurt Republicans in upcoming elections. As people now recognize that their premiums are going up so dramatically.
And unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session.
So yeah, I did see that there seems to be some talk that Trump might extend the subsidies for 2 years because of how politically damaging it's going to be, which is pretty funny because then they could have, if that was the case, they could have never had a shutdown. Like, let me see. Yeah, this is like 2 hours ago. It's like, what a joke, dude. What a that was the whole point of the shutdown. What an outfit. Actually, kind of got that shit on, low key. Kind of got that shit. I took the hat off, too. I was kind of, all right, that's not a problem. A vote to extend Obamacare. That's the Republican solution to healthcare. I mean, it is funny to say that, like, we're going to, Trump had that whole long post about how, listen, the reason we're not extending these is because we have our own plan, and our own plan is going to be better. It's going to put money in your pocket. And then there's no plan. And then the idea is let's bring the subsidies back. That was the whole fucking thing you were fighting against. You were raging against the subsidies. That's why we had the longest shutdown ever. This is like, it's such a clown show, bro. But I mean, politically, it's still disastrous. And yeah, it's either, you know, some of these aren't extended and it's super damaging in the midterms, or they are extended and at least some people are going to notice that's fucking crazy. That was the center of the shutdowns.
Session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas. Just sit. They all sit collecting dust.
I mean, all seem like bad bills. I mean, maybe cap gains on your first home, but even that sounds like a massive tax break to boomers. Yeah, actually, I hate that. I hate all those. I don't like any of those bills. So I'm not saying she's coming with good ideas. I'm saying she has solid complaints. That's true of a lot of people in politics, honestly. They are very good at pointing out the problems, and then I hate their solutions. But at the very least, it's worth listening to the problems.
That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because they know how much credit card debt they have, they know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary.
True.
They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are, common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. That has filled
I mean, I want to reiterate that I think all these are very true things, and I've been talking about for a long time. And I do think there is, my dream is to get people from all different fucking walks of life in America to realize that these are the big main issues and focus exclusively on them. But I do want to warn that, like, she listed 5 bills that she sponsored. None of those would do anything about the problems she just listed. Not one. No, it wouldn't be close. They wouldn't even. So, I hope that people can understand that there are solutions to these problems, but they have to be real and they have to be effective and they have to be, I don't know, not silly, not goofy, but it is at least refreshing to hear a politician talk about these specific problems, because these are the specific problems. These are the great unifying problems in America.
District is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard-left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought...
Okay, that's horrible. That's horrible. You defunded PBS to help save the common man. And the DOJ subcommittee, again, this is not on her. This is more on fucking Elon and Trump, but DOJ no longer exists with 8 months left on its charter. DOJ started this year, started with 2 executives, Vivek and Elon, immediately lost Vivek. Elon went fucking hog wild with a bunch of 20-year-old Grok fans cut random bullshit, did nothing to hurt the deficit. Let's get a check on the deficit. Here we go. Here we go. 2025 deficit versus 24. I don't have a fucking graph. The deficit is the same as last year. I don't have the fucking, I think running slightly higher, but I don't have the fucking, where's my 2025 deficit? We're at like 1.7 trillion. Okay. We're something like that. There's no 2 trillion cut. Not even any. Okay, so we're at the fucking wait. I'm sorry, but this is when he was talking about BBB. The BBB passed. Doge did nothing. It did nothing. All former Doge employees are now fired and no longer exist. So the thing lasted like a few months, did nothing. It was all a bunch of hullabaloo. It was useless. No one could verify the expenditures they cut. It just caused damage. There was no waste, fraud, and abuse gotten rid of. It was a fucking show, dog and pony show. And so I would not talk about your incredible work on the Doge subcommittee.
Harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power. I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money.
I also want to say, there's a there's something to be said here, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that I do respect you calling out, Trump's backtracking on his promises and his running protection for the Epstein files and all that. However, it's not something to be proud of to have done so much work to help elect him when he's caused so much, in your own admission, damage. It's like you were saying it was an insane bait and switch, and how could you ever have known that he wouldn't do? But like, I think that was obvious. So it's either extremely poor judgment on your part or something else.
This precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare. Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have all been welcomed in right after the election. And I will never forget that.
Bro, you hate him. Everybody that works with him ends up hating him. Every single Republican that was on his team in the first administration in 2016, by the end of it, hated him. His vice president hated him. Everyone hated him. Of course they secretly hate him now. That is just a long-term effect of working with him. All the people in New York that did real estate deals with him, they hate him. Jeffrey Epstein hated him. Read the emails. Bro, they all hate him. Secretly or not secretly. They all end up hating him. The only people that he can trust in the long term are his family, because everyone else ends up hating him. He's not a good person. He's not good to work with. She wanted to fix him. I can fix him. And Zoran Mamdani. That's a new bromance. So that's the long-term effect. Fucking his vice president from 2016 can't be seen near him, has said openly horrendous things about him, wanted to be locked up at the end of his term. His current vice president is the only person in the administration right now that called him Hitler. They don't like him.
the day, I had to leave my mother's side as my father had brain surgery to remove cancerous tumors in order to fly to Washington, D.C. to defend President Trump and vote no against the Democrats' second impeachment in 2021. My poor father and my poor mother, it was way too much for all of us. Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs.
Man, it's just such an interesting line of thought, because the point of this is that you are resigning because of the actions of Trump, that he has attacked you and called you a traitor for trying to get the Epstein files released, that he has backtracked on his promises to regular Americans. But then you're saying with pride that you left your family with brain cancer to go stop him from getting impeached. But now you're basically claiming he deserves impeachment. I don't understand. The story you tell is like that of this incredible pride in how it got here, but then shock Pikachu at what it is.
AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files. Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests, because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for. However, while yes, hurtful, my heart remains filled with joy, my life is filled with happiness, and my true convictions remain unchanged, because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God, who created everything in existence. You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention, in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. I do not cling to those things because they are meaningless and empty traps that hold too many people in Washington. I believe in term limits and do not think Congress should be a lifelong career or an assisted living facility. My only goal and desire has ever been...
I got to give a W. I have to give a W. Honestly, WMTG, fucking true. God, I fucking hate how old Congress is coming. It is a fucking assisted living facility. And they do have fucking lifers in there, like Susan Collins, who said she would quit in the fucking 90s, and we're now in 2025, and she's running again in 26.
To hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put America first. And I have fought against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda on children and against women. With that has brought years of nonstop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. It has been unfair and wrong.
Honestly, I mean, the takeaway, this is not a speech for me, clearly, or for obviously this audience. What I'm recognizing here, though, this reminds me of the book we're reading, When Everyone Knows That Everyone Knows. This is pretty damaging, I would say, for Trump. This is a speech directly to MAGA. This is a directly MAGA speech, and is definitely undermining his stranglehold over that group. It's basically saying everything they want to hear and saying Trump's not the guy, which is like a very open, the emperor has no clothes moment. So it is directed at us. Yeah, I'm sorry, it is. I said, this is the only speech for the most hardcore MAGA people. So basically my chat, and I assume also my YouTube audience.
Not only to me,
Patriots,
but especially to my family. But it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart.
That's a powerful line. That's going to hit. That's going to hit. Wait, let me do that again. That's going to hit.
There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in
January
the future.
5th?
May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
All right, well, definitely a interesting speech. I wonder what she's resigning on January 5th because she has January 6th something to do. Right after the pension healthcare kicks in. You guys are so stupid, bro. Do you realize they have nothing to do in the house? If all she wanted was the healthcare and pension, she could just keep the job. Do you understand? They were asking them to do nothing. You guys are fucking conspiracy brained. I think she quit for the reason she said. It's just fucking, God, everyone needs a fucking, you just parrot shit. But I'm just saying, I think the bigger issue here is that she's beginning this anti-Trump within MAGA movement. Now, this problem is they're just going to turn more, like they're going to turn more right, honestly. But what is good is, so here's the deal, is like, as Trump's polling continues to deteriorate, he may be tempted to try even more authoritarian things. But without the support of his base, it's a lot riskier because people don't want to join that if they think there's a chance it could flip. No, that's your fear. That should be the opposite of your fear. The thing is, this is like a really bad sign for him. Like her doing this and his polling already being what it is this early after the honeymoon period, it's the most likely outcome is that he's a massive lame duck mid 26. That's the most likely outcome. The way this is going is that he's going to be an extremely powerless lame duck president, possibly headed towards impeachment. Like that's the direction it's going. That is the most likely outcome. Now things can get crazy, and Trump could try something crazy, but that is where it's headed. I think. Listen, like I've said, a lot of people have made very bad bets predicting the downfall of Trump over 10 years. But I do feel that the GOAT is washed. I've been saying this. I think especially now that the honeymoon period of this term is over, the affordability stuff is killing him. It's just he's lost it. He's lost the fucking. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have the sauce. Plus Epstein double whammy. The Epstein affordability double whammy, I think, is finally. I think it's curtains, bro. I don't think he has the sauce. This is the fastest I've seen someone support base lose support. Oh, yeah, dude, check this out. Wait, check this out. Not only is he starting to lose fucking Republicans. I mean, I saw a Fox News poll that was asking Republicans only who is to blame for the economy. And it was 51% said Biden. That's crazy. 49% said Trump. But like that means, do you understand? Like that's terrible for Trump. That should be 95% Biden. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that would be, that's so worrying for him. I think people are underestimating how cooked he might be. Let me find the thing I'm looking for though. I thought it was perfect. Damn, I saved a lot of that shit in my notes when I was waiting for the live show. Where's this? Oh yeah, look at this. Wait, this is a new one? November 4th to 17th? Oh my God. No, dude. Wait, it got worse. The one I saw was the old one. Bro. Oh shit. Oh, this might be everybody. This is everyone. This is across. This is not just Republicans. Okay, no, I'm sorry. This is the everyone poll. This is the everyone poll. I think generic ballot polling among Gen Z. The fucking Republican support among Gen Z has collapsed. Just collapsed, dude. This was like flipped before the election 1 year ago. Flipped. Everyone's going Jeb. Everyone's going fucking Jeb. This is Trump. Dude, look at Trump approval this year is just fucking nightmarish. This is how he started. Remember that era? The vibes, and so now you've got open, look, here's the thing. Obviously, most Republicans, even the ones in the House, they secretly don't like Trump, but they have to be as pro-Trump as possible because that's how you get elected. That's how you get support. If it starts to become possible to get MAGA support or to keep your seat or your poll numbers while disagreeing with Trump or shunning him or going away from him, his entire support base collapses. So I think this MTG thing was a big harbinger. I think it was a powerful moment. They want Trump's clout. Yeah, they kind of need it. And if Trump ever turns against them, he can kill their chances at keeping their seat if he ever doesn't endorse them. But I think his stranglehold is slipping. Again, you know, the whole thing was fucking tariffs for manufacturing jobs. Well, we got the tariff prices and we lost manufacturing jobs. Like nothing, none of it has worked, bro. It's all been a disaster. Hitting quickly, hitting and compounding quickly. It's all chaotic. And then these are thousands of jobs now. And what is this? Oh, I got deleted. Dude, on Fox Business, they're talking about.
Now remember, if you do want to do another protein like beef, the price is still up. It's about, I believe, 5 times the price that it was last year. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you're hitting the grocery.
Bro, how can you watch that if you're a Fox News viewer and not be like, fuck, dude? And then when he's telling you we're in a golden age, everything's good. Of course they're going to flip on him. Of course. Of course. People have, from the beginning, overestimated how loyal people will be. I think his support among independents has completely collapsed. November 21st, 3 days ago. This is the worst 10-day polling period for Trump in his entire second term.
Yeah, John Berman, I would say this is probably the worst 10-day period for the president in the polls his entire second term. The numbers are just atrocious. What are we talking about here in terms of net approval rating? Well, take a look. These are all November polls. The best one of the group puts him at 14 points underwater. That's the Marquette University Law School poll, tied for the worst he's ever had in that poll. Fox, 17 points underwater. Marist, 17 points underwater. The Reuters Ipsos poll, 22 points underwater. And then taking the cake, the AP North poll, 26 points underwater. When your best poll has you still 14 points underwater, you know it's truly bad, and it's as bad as 26 points underwater. We're talking about an average well underwater with the deep blue sea, swimming with the fishes.
And now this is all parties here. If you think this is bad, Harry.
If you think this is bad, what is driving these horrific numbers for Donald?
Wait, before I even continue, I just want to remind you that sorry, I'm getting the Paramount Skydance. Well, I guess I don't own them yet. I guess they don't own them yet. But, you know, fucking the Ellisons are about to own CNN. I guess they don't own them yet. You know.
Donald Trump. Well, why don't we take a look at independents? Trump's net approval rating with independents.
Christ!
Back in January, he was close to even. He was at -4 points. Not great, but not terrible. Look at this number. 43 points underwater with independents in the most recent average of these polls. When you are 43 points underwater with independents, you know you're doing terribly. You can't win with this. If this holds for next year's midterm election, wave adios, amigos. Goodbye. See you later to that House Republican majority and that Senate Republican majority very much in danger as well. When you take a look at the Pew Research validated voter survey going back to last year, he was basically even among independents with Kamala Harris. Now he is 43 points underwater. Whatever he is doing with independents, it ain't working. They despise him at this point.
Yeah, so Leon, I'm just trying to reiterate. You never know. Someone with authoritarian tendencies could always do something crazy. But they need support. They need support to be able to pull these things off. And the people that give support in the political establishment are always very risk averse. They don't want to give support and then later things change and then they're punished for giving that support. They don't want to do that. This is like a historical reality across all different countries. And so the odds of him being able to pull off anything like that are actually lower and lower because there's a deep, deep risk aversion as the support has evaporated even among the base. Independents completely out, but then also the base. He seems more cooked than I've ever seen him. And it's primarily, I think, the double whammy of Epstein and affordability.
Just a colossal drop.
Oh my God, it's a 40-point move.
Okay, that's among certain political groups here. How about what issues may be driving this?
Okay, yeah. So we say that independents are driving Trump's decline overall, but what is pushing independents?
It's mainly affordability. You're lecturing me. I'm sorry, wait. You're lecturing me? You're correcting me? You think I don't focus enough on affordability? You think old H Rock needs to tell people that actually affordability is the key issue in America? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, literally. I talk about it all the time. For years and years and years. That's what I talk about. Yes, I'm aware. I am aware that Americans are mad about affordability more than anything. It's the deep driver. And in fact, as I said, when the election happened, day one, right afterwards, they will flip right back if they don't solve the affordability problem. They're going to keep ping-ponging back and forth until they either have a civil war, riot, or get the affordability fixed. That is the fucking driving issue. Okay? I don't know if I can be clear enough with that.
And the rest of the electorate away from Donald Trump. John Berman, move out of this screen. Away from Donald Trump. Well, it has everything to do with inflation. It's the cost of living, baby. That is the name of the game. You go back to January, he was 3 points above water. This was the reason why that voters gave him a second term. You look at this. Now, 34 points underwater. My goodness gracious, that is a 37-point move in the wrong direction.
All right. I mean, inflation, one of the things the Fed could do to fight inflation, if that were a concern, is they would raise interest rates right now. Right now, there's been an issue of whether they'll cut them or lower.
The Fed is not going to raise fucking interest rates. I'll promise you that. They should if they want to fight inflation. I actually think, again, as what I've said over, this is the part where I can never be a politician, because the truth is there has to be some pain. And raising interest rates and having a price correction, which would indicate a recession in things like housing and stocks, there is going to be damage, but the damage would primarily fall on asset holders. It would be damage to the economy and it would cause people to lose jobs. I do agree. But the primary damage would fall on asset holders who would see the value of the things they own go down, primarily stocks and real estate. However, that would allow the ability to actually grow out of that, and inflation would be completely stamped out. So regular people would see their cost of living go down, and we would have deadwood zombie firms cleared out. There would be the seeds of actual renewal and actual growth and new things. But instead, we are trying to prop up the holdings of an increasingly elderly boomer cohort that has absurd political power and owns 90% of the assets. And so this is the outcome you're going to get. So we're going to see interest rates cut.
Lower them after the mixed jobs report yesterday. What do the prediction markets say now?
Yeah, okay, so Donald Trump has been pushing. And you know what? The chance that the Fed Reserve in December cuts interest rates now up to 70% because one of the Fed Reserve members said essentially there was still room for cuts. This will be welcome news for Donald Trump. Whether it ultimately, though, gets at its true problem, which in my opinion is the cost of living, I think a lot of economists would disagree that it would. But that is what the prediction markets say, and that's, of course, based upon one of the comments from one of the members of the Fed Reserve.
And this just changed big time. Not a happy Friday so far for President Trump in the numbers. Harriet, and thank you very much.
Source Kalshi?
Yeah, John.
Honestly, I don't know about Kalshi, but Polymarket's been pretty accurate on a number of things. Maybe that's all the insider traders, but it's been a decent fucking source. Why do we take prediction markets seriously again? Because people put money on it. People put money on the line, and so therefore they have an incentive to try and be as right as possible. And then there's the wisdom of crowds. If you call someone and ask who they're going to vote for, they can lie or obfuscate. But if you make them bet on who they think is going to win, they're more likely going to give an accurate answer. That's the truth of it. That's the fucking truth of it. And then you combine that with the fact that people that actually know the answer of things can insider trade and thus influence the outcome. It increases your odds of getting towards an accurate solution. Not always, but definitely in real time, a pretty good chance. Here's a coffee cow. When do we get truthful jobs numbers? Dude, I'm not confident we're gonna get them until we have a new administration. I'm actually not confident. We've now had the inflation numbers redacted. We've had the jobs numbers redacted, and we've had the GDP numbers now canceled. They keep either pushing them back or canceling them, or it's just it's a bad look. It's a bad look, bro. How can they just do that? They're claiming it's because of the shutdown. They're saying the government shutdown has made it so they can't get accurate numbers in time, which honestly, I guess could be somewhat true. But what's weird is like with the jobs numbers, right? They said, oh, we're not going to release them because of the shutdown. We can't do it. And then after they got so much pushback, they're like, okay, we are going to release them. And they're really good. It's like, wait, well, that's weird. I thought you said you couldn't do it. I thought it was not, you know what I'm saying? There's like, it's very sus. So I think it's pretty fucking banana republic shit. Like you can't, the numbers are no longer trustworthy. Pork my buns, think of the prime. Sayas, think of the 19 months. Redonio, think of the prime. Softix, think of the tier 1. Do you think this is part of why he was so nice with Zoran? I don't know. Trump is very, very rarely antagonistic to someone he meets in person. I guess Zelensky. But there's someone right in front of him, he's usually not. I guess unless you're a reporter or Zelensky. If you're a reporter, he'll call you a piggy. But there's someone he's meeting with, just historically. He comes out of most meetings talking about how great the person he just met with is. This is like a 95% hit rate. He comes out of a meeting and he talks about how great the person he just met was. It doesn't matter if they're the leader of a country at war with America. Could be anything. Could be fucking Putin. Could be anyone. All right. He comes out of a meeting, talks about how great they are. So that's his 95% stat. I don't know if this Trump Zoran bromance is gonna last after one news cycle. You know, like if New York City stops one ICE agent, then Trump will be on fucking True Social tweeting about how Zoran needs to be locked up or whatever. This is not like a real thing. I wouldn't overread into this one meeting. That's just normal Trump one meeting shit. Why should he care about his approval rating if it's his last election? That's what the point I was trying to make is that if Trump were tempted to do anything like extra authoritarian, realistically, he would need broad support. He would need at least extreme support from his base and extreme support from the Republican senators in the House, or Republican senators and Republican representatives in the House. And that's sort of evaporating as those people are fearing for their own, like, there's like a wave of lost elections coming. Republicans have been losing up and down the ballot recently, and then also we have these big ones coming in 26. I'm just saying the winds of change are trending because of affordability, which is sort of what we said would happen on this stream in the predictions and also at November of last year. And then, you know, if you want to be super clear about it, Trump would like to end it, even if Trump is not doing a third term or anything crazy, he just wants to end his term. He would like to end his term with a broad wave of popular support and Republican House and Senate majorities, because that drastically decreases the chances that he'll be impeached or punished in any way for what he's done now. Okay? So he is strongly incentivized for to still remain popular. That's, I mean, MTG was saying that too. I don't like how H-Rock talks shit about using Klarna for my burrito. I Klarna everything to negate the effects of inflation. My $7.95 is worth less in 8 weeks than it is today. Holy fuck. That's so brilliant. Well, I never thought about it like that. You should never use your own money to buy anything. You should constantly be in debt so that the effects of government overprinting reduce your total debt load. This is a truth nuke. As long as, of course, you don't ever miss a payment. In which case, the exorbitant fees will drastically outpace whatever inflation there is. And then you'll be stuck in a debt spiral from which there's no escape. But I'm sure you won't do that. And you know what? I'm sure the people at Klarna are shaking their fist. No, he's outsmarted us. Fuck. Oh, because they hate when you figure out this one weird trick. If that happens with my Klarna payments, I just afterpay the Klarna payments. Oh, genius. You can't actually do that. But if you could, the chain you could get going, a burrito back security. Dude, what if you did that? Wait, what if you bought a lot of burritos every day with Klarna and then you package up your burrito debt, get your friend to rate it AAA, and then sell your burrito securities to a pension fund? A subprime burrito loan. Hey, yo, just landed an awesome job after being unemployed for 6 months. 7 months? I'm so excited. Skiggy0303, congratulations, WWWWW. We're very happy for you. 7 months? I think that's actually, you know, people are going to say that sounds crazy. I heard that's actually, I think 6, 7 months. Oh, fuck, dude. Not intentional. Not intentional. Fuck, I was trying to make a real point. I saw some statistic that it was like an average job hunt lasts 6 or 7 months. Yeah. 6 to 9 or something. 6, 9. Holy fuck, I'm a millennial. Wait, that's one for me. 6, 7 for you and 6, 9 for me, bro. Nice. Holy shit. And we're talking about job hunts, which applies to millennials and Gen Z. This is the ultimate. I'm crushing. I'm crushing, dude. Bro, when am I gonna find a fucking job? I gotta stop pretending with this streaming shit, dude. I gotta stop pretending. This is I'm wasting my time. I need to get a fucking job. I gotta put my fucking nose to the grindstone, and I need to find some. I'm unemployed ass. I'm out here talking to. It's the hardest job. It's too hard. I can't do it. It's too hard. It's the hardest job there is. I need to become a Marine. That's what I'm going to do. I'm joining the Marines, folks. Can you imagine my ass in boot camp? I'll be a menace, bro. I'll be a fucking menace. Unironically, too old to be a Marine? Wait. How old to be a Marine? I am too old to be a Marine. You have to be 28 or younger. Holy fuck, dude. Wait, that was my plan. This whole thing was a goof till I joined the Marines. Wait, I wasted my window. I'm chunk. Yo, some of you spamming Boomer are 29. I just fucking know it. Some of you spamming Boomer are 29. You can't be a Marine either. Don't fucking. We're both getting turned away at the door, bro. Don't fucking. I'm 27. I'm right there. Better fucking join now. Better fucking join now. Yeah, but they admire my gumption. Wait, I'm sorry. You said you're going to show up at 29 and say, don't worry about the age thing. I have gumption. And they're going to salute and let you into the Marines. That's your big plan? All right. You pull that off, put it on the Reddit. I'll bring back Reddit recaps for that. That's crazy. That's loco. That is loco. That is goofy goof troops, dude. Dude, even this is among independents? Look at the even because like there's like one issue Trump has always pulled at least decently well on, that's immigration. Economy's been terrible, but on immigration, his base doesn't falter, and independents have been surprisingly not that bad for him. But even this, dude, they're flipping. ICE is detaining more people than necessary. Trump's deportation program is making the U.S. economy weaker, 43%. So like, if he doesn't have that, he's got nothing. That was like his one issue. That's why I saw there was like that. Dude, what was that White House post? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? They had like a big list of things and they just blamed them all on immigrants. It was kind of like the most nakedly transparent Hail Mary. Did you like? It wasn't like even an exaggeration. Someone have that thing. I saw it and I was about to respond. I thought that was almost comically funny. Wait, I'm sure I can find it if I just do a little bit of searching. Homeland Security. It was DHS Gov. Where is it? Dude, the problem is every fucking government organization now tweets 50 times a day. That's not an exaggerated number. Look, I'm scrolling, bro. This is a recent tweet I'm looking for. But they tweet so fucking much now. All right, is this it? This is it. Rent is too high. There are tens of millions of illegals in the country. Groceries cost too much. There are tens of millions of illegals in our country. There aren't enough jobs. There are tens of millions of illegals in our country. This is crazy. Traffic is terrible. Healthcare is too expensive. I can't afford a car. I can't afford a... This is crazy. This is crazy. This is the most direct, like, blame it all on immigrants. And what's funny is, like, based on this logic, right? Okay, because rent has gotten higher during this administration. Groceries have gone up during this administration. Jobs have gone down. But yet you've done more deportations than ever, right? That's the whole that's the whole thing you would say, is that you've gone way up on deportations. You've been cracking down. You've been doing all these, and yet all this stuff's going up. So what's going on? Like, how is it? I thought the rent should be dropping, right? The groceries should be going down. It's just comical. It's crazy. But you guys are always like, so doomed. Well, no one will ever get it. Oh yeah, like, oh, we're laughing, but they don't understand. But I feel like a lot of people are getting that. A lot of people who voted for this are like, hey, well, this isn't true. It's not working. I think affordability cuts through, bro. I think it cuts through any fucking social media noise or echo chamber. I think affordability. You can only tell someone that things aren't, or that things are getting better on costs for so long, and that so long is very short before their bills and paycheck tell the real story. You know? It's what takes Kamala's campaign. Yeah, exactly. It's funny that's why I think it's so funny that Trump is trying to run with this golden age shit, because I think he was accurately able to point out or to use this against the Biden Kamala thing. Like Kamala, her inability to kind of break from Biden, that thing where she was on The View and they were like, would you do anything different from Biden? And she was like, well, no. that shit tanked her campaign because people already were feeling really bad about inflation in that time. So the idea that things are good or we're making big progress was not resonating with regular people. And now Trump's running the same gambit, but worse. He's running the same gambit, but worse, which is like trying to double down on lying. Like, it's just lying that it's good. It's not good. What is this? Subtly making her think about her own weight in this response is one of the cattiest things I've ever seen. He is truly the top gay. This is my goat, Scott Bessent, being catty. Let's see what he's got.
Come from.
Well, and banana prices are up almost 7%. Coffee prices up nearly 19%. Isn't the fact that you're rolling back tariffs an admission that ultimately they do drive up prices for consumers?
Kristen, how much does your arm weigh?
That I do not know.
Exactly. But you know how much you weigh. You get on the scale every morning. Inflation is...
Maybe eat fewer bananas, Kristen. Maybe if the price is up so much, you can cut back on some bananas.
a composite number, and we look at everything. So we try to push down the things we can control. And as I said, that we are working on the energy prices are down, and everything flows from that. And I think we're going to see these other prices come down. And again, many of these goods were part of trade deals with countries that have been in the works for months.
Sure, very quickly, come down in a matter of weeks, months?
Sorry?
Weeks or months? You said the prices will come down in weeks or months?
Some are going to come down in weeks, some are going to come down in months. We just had in terms of affordability, we just had the best month in the housing market due to affordability, due to increased supply in October, best October in 3 years, best month since February.
Let me ask you.
No, I don't know if that's a lie. The housing is starting to come down. But, because of a housing crash that's brewing. He's not lying there. Housing prices are actually, I think just today, for the first time in my lifetime, the cost of a new house is now below that of an old house, because all the old houses are owned by boomers who have low interest rate mortgages. They can't flip, they can't sell, they can't get rid of it. And then new houses have been built, at least in areas like Texas and Florida, by companies that can't sell them. So they're desperately trying to unload it. We have some weird distortions. I mean, again, it's still frozen. Like no one's buying or selling. We're in a frozen housing market, but that's teetering towards a real drop. But if you're young, you don't care. You want it to drop. But it's funny for him to point that out because the thing about Scott Besson is I've just resigned myself to the fact that he believes that the only way he can have this job is to 100% glizzy glaze Trump and follow the party line at every moment. Because he knows that when he's saying that about the housing market. He knows this. He's still, God is my witness, whatever you see of him, whatever clip, he's better than Howard Lutnick. I promise you. I promise you. Maybe you guys don't know enough about Howard Lutnick. I promise you Howard Lutnick in this role would be, oh God, so much worse. And what's crazy, I have a clip here for you about Scott Besson. What's extra crazy is that even with all the glazing he's doing and all him and Rubio are doing to run around and try to do at least a little bit of adult in the room, is that, I think this is it, Trump still might fire Scott Besson, if you can fucking believe it. Despite doing everything Trump asked and running cover for him on interviews 24/7, Trump still might fire him.
It's blowing it up.
Because Scott Besson is the only guy that talked him out of firing Jerome Powell in the middle of his term.
On is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass, okay? Mortgage rates are down despite the Fed. I mean, Scott, you got to work on this guy. He's got some real mental problems. No, there's something wrong with him. It's just sweet. I'd be honest. I'd love to fire his ass. He should be fired. Guy's grossly incompetent. And he should be sued for spending $4 billion to...
You know, a little explanation here is, but like if you fire a sitting Fed chairman in the middle of their term, it completely Banana Republic undermines the faith in the U.S. Treasury, which is the bedrock of the global financial system. That's what all other countries take their excess dollars and put them into. Kind of gold now, actually, in some ways, but some of it is U.S. Treasuries. And so if you're firing a sitting Federal Reserve chair in the middle of their term and then installing a puppet to cut rates, it's a disaster. Your borrowing costs will go through the roof. And Scott Besson knows this as the adult in the room, even if he's fucking completely compromised. And so he has talked Trump out, if he says it here, of firing Jerome Powell. But he is so pig-headed on this, he might fire Besson in order to fire Powell, who only has like 3 months left on his term.
Build a little building. I'm building a ballroom that's going to cost a tiny fraction of that, and it's bigger than the whole thing put together. You got to work on him, Scott. The only thing Scott's blowing it on is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass, okay? I can't tell you, Scott, sir, don't fire him. Sir, please don't fire him. He's got 3 months to go. Don't fire him. I want to get him out, Scott. Please. He's the voice of reason. You're very lucky you have him, I'll tell you that. Done a good job. I think Howard's a little bit more for firing him. Right, Howard? I think Howard would say, get him the hell out of there.
So I promise you, you don't want Howard Lutnick, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've said from the beginning, bro. Whatever you think about Scott fucking Besson, I promise you, it's a million times better than fucking Howard Lutnick. I promise you that. Besson will write a book in 2 years that'll go crazy. He might. He honestly might. But he really has. I mean, Again, I don't know how the internal politics of being in the Trump administration works. Maybe he really has to go on CNBC all the time and say these crazy things because Trump watches CNBC, and that's how you get clout within the administration. That is a possible reason he has to do this. But in my mind, it's like, bro, you don't have to do this. Like, you can toe the line and try to make smart choices without having to get out there and debase yourself by saying open lies that you're too smart to know are. But he did punch Elon Musk in the face. People don't give him that credit. He punched Elon Musk in the face, gave him a black eye, and then punched Bill Pulte. So, I mean, let's not, you have to count balls and strikes here. You got to count balls and strikes. He also is gay. That wasn't that tweet wasn't just joking. He is the only gay member of the administration. Only openly. There's a few people in stalls. There's a few people with their feet under stalls, but they don't talk about it. Dude, that wide stance meme was so funny. A gay Republican finance guy sounds terrifying. I guess. I get why is it worse that he's gay? Why is it worse that he's gay? I don't know. He has no kids holding him back. Wow, bold of you to say a gay man can't have kids. Scott Besson has 2 kids. Cancel him, chat. I heard I mentioned in the new How Money Works. I was going to watch it, but should I maybe wait? We've done a lot of How Money Works recently. I might give it a day or two. Is there something else we can watch? Johnny Harris has a what being a billionaire really looks like 3 days ago. And there's a giant gold. It looks like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. There's a Moss Bag vid. I do want to watch if there's a great Silk Song breakdown. I would be interested in that. Look at this. This is like this is beastified, bro. You got a fucking golden watch, golden helicopter, golden yacht.
This is what $100 million looks like. 100 million $1 bills. Look at this.
Sheesh.
Okay, but watch this. This is what $100 billion looks like. Whoa. That's $100 billion. There's like 19 people on Earth that have this much money. Oh, and by the way, one of these guys just bought a house right up the road here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice.
Remember when we did the piles of cash? This is what $100,000 looked like when we did that visualization. So yeah, we're in a whole different echelon now.
100,000 shockingly looks like more than I thought it would. In my mind, $100,000 looks like one of those stacks, 2 of those stacks.
Now, I want to show you the lifestyles of people who are worth this much money versus this much money. So we've been talking to experts, interviewing people who work with the ultra wealthy to construct real world scenarios of what these people's lives look like, what kind of influence they have in society, to understand what and who they can buy.
Oh, and by the way, we're launching a media company. It's called New Press. It's going to be very different than anything you've ever seen. It's going to be about transparency, letting you have insight into our journalistic process and contribute to it. There's already a lot of people on the wait list. If you want to be one of them, go to newpress.com, sign up. You'll be the first to know when it launches and what we're up to. You can even help us design it. That's newpress.com. Okay, that's all.
So first up, Let's start with $100 million.
Too loud? Oh. Wait, it is fucking too loud. Why didn't anyone tell me?
My name is Scott. I started a candy company and I grew it over many years, and I eventually sold it to a big, giant candy corporation. And because I started the company, I own most of it, and so I got a huge payout from this sale. Between that and a bunch of other investments over the years, I now
love
have
candy.
a net worth of $100 million.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big number. My primary residence is New York City, where 818 other centimillionaires live. Centimillionaires, it's like 100 millionaires. I'll show you my New York City house in just a second. But first, let's talk about my fortune and how I can spend it. Now, I can't actually spend my fortune right now because all of it is in the stock market.
Okay.
The upside of that is that it grows and grows. My portfolio grows at 10% every year. So what if I just sell this $10 million return I got this year?
Should have given your money to me to invest for you. I'll be your hedge fund manager. My return this year, based on the Doug stock game, %. Oh, Lee, give me 2 and 20 on that one, baby. I'll be in a fucking yacht. God damn. Even Ludwig beats the S&P, bro. Eat your heart out, Aiden. 31.4%. Yikes, little bro. And that's with you getting this fucking unreal. The metals company, Bink. 235% return on fucking rare earth metal war between China and America. You called that one, Aiden? You saw that coming? Fucking brilliant. He didn't call it, he caused it. That I do believe. Aiden's always jet setting around the world causing problems.
Year. This could fund some of my lifestyle. Ugh, but look at all these taxes. All in all, it's like 37% of that $10 million. I guess it still leaves me with $6.3 million to spend. And look, I didn't even have to touch my portfolio. I'm still worth $100 million. Wait, is this video just tax calculations? No. Let's go find a house.
Okay.
My budget for a house is...
I'm sorry, I had to pause. Someone said, I'm surprised how much I liked Aiden when I met him. First of all, what does that mean? You thought you'd hate him, that he's a deeply unlikable guy? And then secondly, it's like, you know, it's not like a deep, long meeting. He's a nice, friendly guy, of course, in the first interaction. Aiden's a guy you dislike the more you meet him. Do you know what I'm saying? At first meeting, he's incredible. You have to find his flaws over time. He hides them.
Anywhere between $8 and $15 million, which sources told us is common at this level. And even though I live in one of the most expensive and crowded cities on Earth, with my budget, I can find a pretty sick house, I think. Okay, let's look around. Boy,
Okay.
there's some nice options here. How about this one? $8.5 million. This nice apartment
Kinda broke,
in
right?
Midtown Manhattan. The listing tells me that this is the epitome of refined living. A superior pre-war white glove cooperative. What does that mean? 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. This sun-kissed airy. This sun-kissed airy is one of the crown jewels of the Tony Enclave. What
How
is
about
it?
that?
Am I reading like a different language? What is the Tony Enclave? I don't know what any of those words mean. Sorry. But I do know that it has a semi-private elevator.
Okay.
And it's the perfect setting for alfresco entertaining. And me, $100 millionaire, I am super into alfresco.
I feel like with $8.5 million, you could buy a Dave & Buster's and live in there and not allow anybody but your friends in. Why would you buy this? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't understand. This is like so classless in comparison. You could play all the games for free. And you could even have like a bartender like still serving drinks.
entertaining. I mean, this is looking like a pretty great house. It's got this super romantic painting above the mantle. And in addition to my real library, I also get a bathroom that kind of looks like one. By the way, this is only my primary residence. It's not my...
I mean, on that note, that's kind of a joke answer, what I said. But I do think so far, the most cool billionaire splurge that I've seen so far is probably Gabe Newell's land party yacht. Like, unironically, I'm like, damn, that is like a fucking cool thing to do with $1 billion. Buying this giant land party yacht and then like having your friends on there to play video games is like, damn, that is really fun sounding. I can't hate too much because like, of course that would be fucking cool to do. It's got a full basketball court. Gabe Newell's got a full basketball court. All right. Didn't he also buy the company? What company? Isn't the land party thing misinfo? Is it? Gabe Newell caps off Steam Machine Week by taking delivery of a new $500 million super yacht with a submarine garage, onboard hospital, and 15 gaming PCs. That sounds like a land party yacht to me. It's got 2 gyms. Yeah, it's got a land party. I mean, I think that would be really cool. It would be cool to... It's just the problem is, dude, here's the fucking real problem. Is like, I dreamed of this, not a land party yacht, but like, when I was younger, I was like, damn, if I ever hit the lottery or whatever, I could build like a sick house with a land party facility in it, like a bunch of gaming PCs, and my friends come over anytime we could just game. And then, now that I'm an adult, I realize that the problem with that is not getting the PCs. It's that as adults, no one has time. Like getting all my old buds together to like take a weekend and play video game is just not going to happen. That's not, we already do it once a year. And it's not, the problem is not the tech of getting the PCs. The problem is just that no one can fucking kick it and grind League of Legends for 18 hours like we used to. Get new friends. Yeah, good idea. I should drop all my friends who are either married or employed. And increasingly find only friends that can focus all their time on me and are unemployed as I get older. That's a good idea. I should surround myself with yes men who only want to play video games with me for money. Yeah, that's a really smart. Thank you for your diagnosis.
Only home. I've got a couple vacation homes around the country and the world. This one in Miami, which is increasingly a playground for the ultra-rich, and this one in the south of France. And both of these have full-time housekeepers. Let's talk about my vacations. I visit these houses a couple times a year, but for my other vacations, I'll maybe go to the Hamptons because I love to watch polo. There's this great polo match in July, and I buy a VIP ticket that will cost me only $3,500.
I heard polo and golf and all these traditionally wealthy sports are dying because even rich Zoomers don't fuck with them at all. Like all the traditional signifiers of sport with wealth, there's like no adoption among the young, the internet addicted, even if they're rich. So they're just dying off. Golf is booming? No, golf is not booming. No, like a bunch of golf courses are shutting down. Golf's not booming. It's not dead, but golf is not booming, dude. A bunch of golf courses. Yeah, like there's fucking Yeah, I'm trying to find the full article. There's tons of closures, dude. Tons in 2025. Golf Inc. Golf course supply levels off. Course closure expected to continue. They just don't have the, they don't have the demand. They don't have the regular. I mean, maybe at the highest end, but they don't have the demand of people.
Or lately I've been getting into F1, and so maybe I'll go to the race in Monaco. I'll stay at this Hotel Heritage. Oh no, Hermitage. I'll stay at the Hotel Hermitage, Monte Carlo, for just 22,000 euros a night, which is like $25,000 per night. Okay, let's get to the F1 race.
Golf has never been higher to get tee times. Yeah, because there's fewer supply of courses. It's just a shrinking supply. Obviously, there's still many boomers who will go play fucking golf, but the number of people playing it by generation is dropping dramatically. It's dying. I'm sorry to tell golf heads, your sport is dying. I hate to break it to you. Zoomers do not love golf. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You guys, it's embarrassing. You guys are wrong. It's not. Golf is not thriving nor growing. No, it is not. Oh my God. You are in a bubble. You are in a small group of people that like it. I'm sorry, golf heads, bro. They're closing. All right. Well, enjoy, bro. Enjoy.
Monaco Grand Prix is underway. Jeez. No one told me I needed to bring my swimsuit to the F1 race. I'm feeling a little overdressed. Food's great, chef.
Okay.
Great view. Let's get to the race. I'm planning on watching the F1 race from a private yacht. The ticket was $16,000. And look at the benefits here. I get to walk around in the pit, I get to meet the drivers, and I even get
VIP tenders?
VIP tenders?
Chicken tenders?
Oh, not that kind of tender. Just a fancy boat that brings me out to the yacht.
Well, that's cool.
Anyway, something's bothering me. Remember when I showed you I could sell off the returns that I made this year from my stocks and still come out with millions of dollars of cash to spend? Well, I didn't really like having to sell off all those returns and then have to pay like over 30%.
I don't want to pay
in
taxes.
Me and everyone else you'll see in this video don't like to sell our portfolio, our assets, to get cash, because that triggers all of these taxes.
Yuck.
Gives us less power in the companies we own. Instead, we like to get cash through a bunch of other ways, using our vast fortune. My favorite trick is to go to the bank and to ask for a loan. Wait, what? I'm a super rich guy. Why do I need a loan? Well, let me show you. The bank will loan me a lot of money if I put my huge investment portfolio up for collateral, meaning they can come after it if I don't pay the loan back, or if I default or something. Okay, how much can I get in a loan? Well, according to the bank UBS, I could borrow up to 85% of the value of my investment portfolio, which remember is $100 million. So I could potentially get a loan for $85 million. How
about that?
Another bank, Merrill Lynch, says that they will give at least 50% of the value of your portfolio. But regardless, we're talking tens of millions of dollars that I can borrow and spend. And guess what? I pay zero taxes on this money because it's not income, it's technically debt. Okay, wait, but it's a loan. So I'm accruing interest, right? This isn't free money.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
have to pay
low
it back
interest.
someday and likely have to pay it back with post-tax money. So it's not free money. What's the deal here? Why am I doing this? Well, according to a lot of good reporting from the Wall Street Journal, people making $100 million or more can get quoted on an interest rate as low as 0.87%. Super low. In reality, today, under these conditions and with my net worth, let's just be really, really conservative and say that my interest rate on the loan is more like 5.9%. It's a lot higher than 1%. But watch what happens. This allows me to not have to touch my investment portfolio. I don't have to take out that $10 million of stocks and pay a bunch of taxes. And that is growing at 10% a year, way more than the interest on this loan. Now watch what happens over time. This is the value of that $10 million left in my portfolio, and this is how much I owe
on the loan I took out. That's a nice looking graph. My wealth is
Ardubs, that's the dumbest fucking stat you could have ever quoted. That is the dumbest fucking stat. There's more Gen Z and millennials than old people, of course. But dollar for dollar, the money going into golf is way more from fucking boomers. What a dumb fucking statement. What a dumb fucking statement, bro. That's the dumbest thing I ever fucking heard. I'm not getting baited by fucking golfers, bro. You guys are sad that your fucking sport is dying, which it is. It is dying. Of course it is. Bigger sports than golf are dying. Gen Z in general is playing less sport. The idea that it's booming is so incredibly dumb. I did not know that I had fucking embarrassing golf addicts in here. It is dying. We know it's dying. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. I did not know. Golf heads are in shambles, bro. The golf course next to me got turned into a Target distribution center. Unfortunate, bro.
Is growing way faster than the interest on my loan is accruing. So this tax-free debt thing is awesome, and it's one way that I will turn my net worth into spendable cash without having to sell off any of my stocks in my portfolio. Okay, no more tax math for now. I want to go buy some more stuff. It's time to talk about private jets and yachts. Sadly, I can't afford the private jet that I want. Womp womp. But this doesn't mean I don't fly private. These days, I can easily just book a jet, like this one. It can take me from New York to Miami, and it only costs me...
Can you not have a... what wealth do you need to afford a jet? Like what? I always thought $100 million, you'd probably have a jet, but is that too... Do you have to be a billionaire for a jet? At what net worth do you get a private jet? $50 million or more is a common. That's what I thought. I thought by 100 mil you'd get a private jet. It's a big chunk of your money. Yeah, I mean, it would be expensive.
$15,000.
It's not an achievement you unlock. Oh, it's not? I thought when you hit a certain net worth, a fucking Xbox achievement score would pop up and they'd give you a fucking private jet.
You can get from LA to Australia for $200,000 on this private jet. $200,000 seems like a lot, but let's compare it to the median net worth of a US household, which is $192,000. The median net worth of a household, not a person, a household. Spending $200,000 on this flight to Australia feels the same for me as a median household spending $384 for this ticket.
That's
pretty doable
crazy.
for a flight to Australia. Now, I can get a better deal on these private flights if I pre-purchase a jet card like this. I fill it up with prepaid private jet hours. Prices range from $5,000 to $7,000 per hour for a small private jet and up to $20,000 an hour for a bigger, longer range jet. Maybe someday I'll own my own private jet, but my budget of $10 million doesn't really get me the fancy one that I want. I'll opt to charter for now. What I can afford
is if you're a 100 millionaire. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to spend more than 10% of your net worth on a jet. And you don't want the broke boy jet. It's almost more embarrassing, you know? If you're in the 100 million club and you invite people on your private jet and you have the old one. It's like kind of, this is what Aiden's probably shopping for right now with just yard money. It's a bit tacky. It's like, it's a used jet.
It is a fairly large staff to run my life. I have 18 full-time staff members, and that's a real number of staff for people of this net worth from a Morgan Stanley report. I've got a personal driver, I've got a shopper, I've got a butler, a chef, a laundry person. I'm super into security, so I've got a head of security and a bunch of security guards. I have a personal handler who sets up all the logistics of stuff I want to do. Like I want to go yacht shopping this weekend. They're handling
You can't
all of
afford
it.
a yacht at 100 million.
That's him now. Hey, Brad.
100 million? That's not yacht money. Not like a real one. If you want a baby bitch yacht.
Yeah, for the yacht show this weekend, can you make sure I get some VIP tenders? No, the chicken ones.
Oh, I'm sorry. This guy's he's just renting a jet and he's going to buy a baby yacht. He's actually kind of broke when you think about it. Like, actually, in America, you can't really survive on 100 million is what I'm realizing. That's what I'm realizing. He's kind of broke. It actually is kind of an embarrassing amount of money.
And I almost forgot, my most important staff members are the financial and legal experts who find the most clever ways to reduce how much taxes I have to pay. Which, my wealth manager, Jeff, keeps selling off all my stocks at a loss, and we're like losing money. Jeff, what are you doing back there?
Don't worry, Scott. This is called a wash sale and I know what I'm doing. You get back to yacht shopping.
Okay.
Loss harvesting, wash sale. I don't understand it all. Jeff does though. Anyway, back to yacht shopping. Wow, look at these yachts. I'm actually sad to discover that I'm on the lower end of ultra wealth. So my yacht is actually not that fancy. It's not a super yacht, that's for sure. It looks more like this. It costs a little over $1 million. I might splurge and get this guy. Costs more like $6 million, but
Man, I think it is called a wash sale is whenever you sell your stocks at a loss and then rebuy them immediately so that you can take the losses on your taxes. So if I bought a stock at 100 and then it's down to 85, I sell it, then rebuy it at 85 so I can have that deducted on my taxes. It's illegal. It's illegal. So technically, I'm sure they're finding some loophole. You're not allowed to do a wash sale. But there are ways around it where they use things that track essentially the same security. You know, I don't have an example off the top of my head, but like, okay, let's say for example, if you had a loss on gold, and there was two different securities that both tracked the price of gold, you could sell one, buy the other, make the argument. You need like a tax lawyer, but yeah, sell Vanguard, buy SPY, that kind of thing. But you know, I'm pretty sure even those specific examples are also banned. So it's like, you have to go deeper. Flirt.
But this is still pretty entry level. Because at this point, yes, I've got loads of money. I can buy and travel and live how I want. But what separates me from the big dogs who we're about to see is yachts and private jets, but also influence in society. I do some donating. I donate a bunch of money to politics. I gave $900,000 to a PAC that supports the candidates that I hope will win. I also belong to the invite-only Aman Club, which I had to pay a $200,000 initiation fee for. My membership fee is $15,000 a year, and I get to rub shoulders with people way richer than me, like Bill Gates and even the Kardashians.
$200,000, you could have bought a lot of gifties in here and got real influence. Okay? $200,000 worth of gifties, you would be hobnobbing with Punch. Okay? With Ludsy, with the elite of the H-Rock chat. You'd have a real. This is such a huge waste of money. What are you talking with fucking Epstein Island people?
Show up every once in a while. But this isn't real influence. I'm kind of paying for access. It's nothing like we're gonna see once we cross the $1 billion mark. Hey, since we're talking about money, can we take a minute to make sure that this video makes money so that our team can continue to work and our company can keep going so we can keep making videos? Description. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring today's video. And with that, let's dive back into the lifestyles of the ultra rich.
All right, now let's 10x this and get to $1 billion. Forbes says that there's about 3,000 people on Earth with this kind of money.
Hi, my name is Javier. I was a moderately wealthy guy for a while, but I randomly wrote a $200,000 check to a couple of young guys in Silicon Valley who had a startup idea. They gave me 4% equity in their company, and then their company blew up and is now worth $80 billion. After some dilution, My $200,000 check is now worth $1 billion. That's my net worth. So how do I get liquid cash to spend from my vast fortune? Well, I don't want to sell any of my stake in the tech company I invested in because I have voting rights. I can control how it is. In fact, like Scott, I don't want to sell any of my portfolio for cash. Instead, I will generate money other ways. I'll go back to the old debt trick that we saw with Scott.
Yeah.
Even if I get a loan that's 2% of my vast portfolio, I'm looking at $20 million of tax-free cash, all without having to touch my portfolio, which continues to grow in the market at 10% a year. That $20 million that I didn't have to take out of my portfolio is just in the market, is growing nice and fast. And look, after 5 years, my portfolio has grown way more than the interest on this loan. I can easily pay back the loan right now and still have extra to spare.
Okay. Just to be clear, even the old example where he was putting it into a diversified portfolio of stocks, you're not guaranteed 10% a year. That's not. But with this, where all of your money is in one tech startup, you're certainly not guaranteed to be consistently outpacing interest. That's not.
I can easily pay back the loan right now and still have extra to spare. Okay, so let's talk houses. Where do I live? Of course, New York City, where there's more billionaires than anywhere else in the world. I live up on the Upper East Side. Look at this beautiful home. 6 bedrooms, 17,000 square feet Manhattan apartment. It cost me $57.5 million. This was actually 2 huge multi-million-dollar houses that they combined into one. Just cause. It's got a pool with my favorite inspirational quotes on the wall, a basketball court on the roof. But this is not my only home. It is one of 7 that I own, including my home in Aspen, in Lake Garda, Dubai, St. Barts,
Dude, 7
and of course,
homes.
downtown Paris. And look, I finally own a private jet. Yes. No more chartering or prepaid flight cards. I've got my own private jet, and it is sick. Look at this thing. Cost me $75 million, and I have to pay $3 million a year just to maintain it. Like, I have to pay $135,000 just to store it in a hangar. I pay $600,000 a year on fuel and $45,000 just on like basic maintenance. Oh, and I have a full-time pilot and crew.
Wow.
I spend over $700,000 just to keep them retained as my full-time flight attendants. And I finally can buy a respectable yacht. Like, look at this one. It's 131 feet long. It's got a pool and a hot tub on the deck. It can carry 11 guests and 9 crew members.
Only
and like
11
my PJ,
guests?
I have to pay a full-time crew to run this thing year-round, even though I only use it a few times a year. My vacations look pretty similar to Scott's. A lot of expensive VIP acts.
11 guests is kind of broke still. Am I finding out that even a 1 billionaire is broke? 11 guests. That's a small gas. That's not even really a party. 11 guests, like the conversation might die down and it's going to be awkward silence. You can't even have a 15-man LAN party. I don't know. It just feels like inflation has struck again.
Access, but just a little more elevated. Like, I paid $3 million to watch the Super Bowl in this suite with Taylor Swift and a bunch of other rich people. The difference between me and Scott is I get invited to stuff that I don't even have to pay for because we're kind of all a little bit post-money at this point. Like the Monaco Yacht Show, they have an exclusive opening day. Scott was paying $2,200 for a ticket, but I'm one of the 200 people that they just invited to the VIP experience. And in fact, where Scott's vacations were about lavish, opulent hotels and experiences,
Scott was so broke.
I have kind of a different vibe. I care mostly about privacy and security. In fact, the places I stay look a lot more like this from the street. Unassuming, not drawing any attention. But behind these walls, I've got everything I need for my vacation. My security team flew in a few days earlier to secure the property, and then I arrive with my butler, my chef, even my personal doctor is on site. I've got a dog walker who I pay to just hang out with my dog.
Dude, why would you fly to France and then bring your own chef? What's the point? If you're not going to go and try some of the food there, the chef's there, what's the point? He's going to make your chicken tenders your way?
And of course, my
Or
luxury
Italy, I'm sorry.
travel coordinator who just zipped into town to connect with the brands she's been communicating with. They're planning to come to my villa to set up my own personal store
boys
in
don't
one of
get
the
it?
many bedrooms so that I can browse the latest fashion without leaving my villa. By the way, that's a real example from our reporting. A family who did this during one of their vacations and ended up spending $1.5 million on their little in-home designer store during their vacation. In fact, I want to super clarify that all of these examples are based on real reporting, real examples from our interviews with people who work with the ultra rich. Many of them don't want to appear and be quoted in this video, but we're grateful that they let us in on some of these lifestyle details of how people live and travel at this wealth level. Anyway, I'm Javier. And at this point, it's hard to know what to spend my money on that Scott can't. Like, we can both buy a $91,000 shirt, which sales tax alone on this puppy is like $8 grand. $9 million painting. There's a few things that are out of reach for Scott that I can buy. Maybe like this nearly $3 million bottle of whiskey. What I can do at this level is pay for hyper exclusive experiences, like paying my favorite band, the Eagles, to fly in and play me a show. I'll pay millions of dollars for this. And in fact, they've negotiated only playing Hotel California one time, but it was totally worth it. And yes, that $6 million private concert is a real example too. Anyway, let's go back to security, because now that I'm a billionaire, I'm a little more well-known, and my security team has grown. But I'm also starting to get a little more...
I wonder if you can even afford to like buy someone to deliver you Chipotle in California. Or is that not quite the wealth level yet? I wonder if you can order like a burrito with guac to be delivered to your door. I don't think they're quite there, but that's the 100 billion. That's the Elon Musk level. Because that is quite pricey.
Paranoid. Thinking about how I'm planning for something
They Klarna it?
apocalyptic. We rich people think about this a lot. What if we lose it all? My vast wealth is in the market, in the economy. And if order breaks down, it could be worth nothing. So I'm going to invest in some backup plans. A bunch of land in upstate New York. And in fact, I'm even working on a bunker. I love bunkers. This thing's got food storage, a decontamination shower, a high-tech air filtration system, 4 bedrooms, a hair salon, a shooting range. Listen, I'm not a prepper, but you know, just in case, and I've got the money to do it, why wouldn't I? I'm worth $1 billion. So at this point, I kind of have an army of tax professionals optimizing my wealth so I can pay as few taxes as possible. And Congress just passed some legislation that's really helping me out on this.
Hell yeah. BBB, baby.
At this level, I start to get weird and creative with my money. Maybe I'll buy a hotel chain, or maybe I'll invest in bubbles. No, not those kind of bubbles. Bubbles is the name of my thoroughbred horse that I bought for $3 million. I paid millions of dollars, and then I had to, of course, build a home and a bunch of stables for Bubbles, and I had to like get a trainer and feed and care and medical attention. It's a lot of money, but it's a business expense. And Bubbles is a depreciating asset on my balance.
If you're at this level of wealth and you're not sponsoring like an esports team, what is your point of your life? If you're not subsidizing a money-losing esports team in fucking Counter-Strike or something, then why? I don't get it. A fucking horse?
Balance sheet. I'm supposed to try to make a profit off of Bubbles, but really I'm doing it because on race day, I love showing up to watch him race. Get to hang out with my friends, spend some time at the track, throw a big party, and watch Bubbles race. Come on, boy, come on. Bubbles. Oh, he lost again. And yes, I'm losing a lot of money on Bubbles, but honestly, I'm not that stressed because this is more of a hobby, and all of these losses I can write off to lower my tax bill. I'm actually doing this same kind of hobby thing on a much bigger scale. I bought an NBA team.
Oh, there we go.
To write these players off as depreciating assets, even though the team is growing and making money. All of this helps my tax rate be lower than the players who play for me, and even lower than the guy serving beer in the stands. ProPublica did a great analysis on that, by the way. But yeah, anyway, all of this is legal. Like, I'm not breaking any rules.
You know what you should do is you should buy a WNBA team. It's even better because you don't even have to pay any salaries. even though the teams are growing in value every year, you can just not pay any fucking salaries. And that's really fucking sick. That's actually fucking awesome. Just an easy dub. And it's even better because the fans will support you not paying the salaries. They'll actually loudly and passionately advocate for you not paying the salaries because it makes them feel better about themselves. So it's actually a fucking sick spot to be in. You can fucking cook them on percent of revenue, and then people who don't even know you will loudly and passionately defend you. Hi, babe. Hi.
Guess you're busy.
I was just talking about how women shouldn't be paid for stuff.
So why do you?
Well, I'm not busy. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh.
Just wanted to get... All right. Waiting for my wontons.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Are you cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cold. All right. Bacon for wontons. I hope she made some wontons for me.
It's really fun. And look, I have the best seats in the house. Oh, and by the way, I still pay a lot of taxes. My businesses pay corporate taxes and income taxes and payroll taxes and property taxes and sales taxes. I contribute massively in dollar terms, and my businesses generate huge amounts of tax revenue and jobs, and I took a risk in building my wealth. And when I sell or die, the government takes another giant cut. I'm paying plenty. And
I'm pissed.
I'm paying so much that I'm gonna use some of my influence to try to change that.
Let's go.
I've got my eye on a Senate candidate. I've contributed $20 million to his campaign to get him reelected, and he won. Yes! It's a few months later, and Congress is working on a bill. It could have big ramifications for my business and therefore my net worth. And so I'm gonna call in my favor to the senator who I donated so much money to help reelect. I need him to insert 8 words into this massive bill to allow my business to qualify for a huge deduction. He does it. Last second, and I just saved hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. 20 million bucks to get this guy elected in exchange for hundreds of millions of dollars in savings? That sounds like a good investment. Thanks, Congress. My financial advisors have been telling me that it's time for me to not just be a rich person, but to become a philanthropist, to give away my money and to save some taxes in the process. How about, let's see, what can I give away? Well, I've got this really nice art collection. An appraiser said that it was worth $130 million.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna donate this, but I'm not gonna donate it to like a public gallery. I'm gonna donate it to my own family's private nonprofit foundation. And as long as I make this art accessible to the public, I can write off the $130 million from my taxes over several years. Okay, so I have to make all this art accessible to get the tax write-off. What counts as accessible? Luckily, the IRS isn't super specific, so I've decided to open up the art room to the public, but just in kind of random 2-hour slots that you need a lottery to get an access to. There'll be only guided tours on random Wednesdays, no regular hours, no self-guided tours. That's accessible, right? I'm taking the tax write-off.
How about that?
Guys?
Nice approach.
Yes. And yes, that is a real example of philanthropy really being vanity.
Dude, what's really cool is all that money in your art foundation, you can now hire all your cousins and nephews and family members, and they get jobs that are tax deductible on your fucking foundation dime to fly around the world and do jack shit. And it's this awesome fucking system. Where instead of your money going towards the government anyway, it only goes to those in your family and connections and people you want to give favors to.
Projects with no public benefit. Thanks again to ProPublica for their great reporting on it. Okay, moving on. Now, there are billionaires who give to real causes that benefit real people, who give away a large amount of their fortune to actually change the world for the better. But it's also very common for billionaires to use foundations and philanthropy as tax shelters and vanity projects. And the IRS doesn't really come down on these people very often. Oh, I just got an email saying I'm going to Switzerland. Because I donated to the presidential campaign, the president is assigning me to be the ambassador to Switzerland. And I know the president said that he wouldn't be appointing his donors to these types of roles, but here I am. Seems like a lot of us donors are getting appointed. This is great. Let's get the jet ready to go to Switzerland. So you can see that my fortune at this point buys me anything I want.
Damn, Switzerland's nice.
It's actually starting to be more and more about buying influence in society and politics. But this is just the beginning. Let's see what happens when we 100x this.
Okay, things are about to get kind of nuts because we're about to 100x this pile. To go from 1 billion to $100 billion.
There's less than 20 people.
If you have $100 billion, why not simply print it all out in $1 bills and then stand on it? So you have the tallest tower in DC like this. Wouldn't that be the coolest possible thing you could do? And then look down on everybody. I mean, it'd be a little risky, I guess, a little scary, but it'd be pretty cool. Like your aura would be awesome. If you're standing right here, come on. You could have like someone, yeah, you could be flown up there, dropped off. The aura of being up here would be crazy. Or you could lay down on it like in Breaking Bad and like money angel to money, and then dollar bills are flying off and everyone at the bottom is like waiting around.
There's less than 20 people who have this much net worth or more. They're almost all Americans who started technology companies. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has anywhere from 4 to 5 times this much, depending on the day. And at this point, there's no way I can convince you how much money this is. Like, you have to combine the incomes of over 7.5 million Americans toiling away, earning the median salary of $63,000 a year. 7.5 million people earning the amount of money controlled by one guy. Hi, my name is Bradley. I founded a technology company decades ago, and it is now one of the most valuable companies on earth. I still run it actively, and most of my $100 billion fortune is in the form of a huge amount of stock in this company. How do I even think about where to live? I could go the direction of Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani and build my own personal 27-story skyscraper, complete with a hanging garden and a 6-floor garage where I can store 168 cars. Or I could collect a portfolio of trophy homes all over the world. I'll buy this one in Florida for $173 million. It's got 33 bedrooms and 39 bathrooms. That is a lot of toilets. I'll buy a spot in London, but I'll make sure to buy all the properties
more
around
than one
it,
bathroom
so I've got
per
a lot of
bedroom is
privacy.
crazy.
That one cost me $202 million. I'll grab a bunch of property along this coastline in Malibu. I'll buy this private golf course next to my 19,000 square foot mansion, even though I don't really play golf. And I'll even pay $86 million for a Zen temple in Japan because
You better start playing quick.
Japan. Let's add to
You won't
the
be able to
list
relate to the
buying this
Zoomers.
entire island of Lanai, Hawaii. All in all, my big portfolio of houses around the world adds up to about $2
Zoomers won't even
billion
understand
worth
you if you
of
don't talk about
but if
golf.
I'm
They're
like
so
Larry
into
Ellison, whose homes all of those I just mentioned are, this isn't even 1% of my net worth. But I don't want to just buy
Jesus
homes.
Christ, he has $2
Maybe
billion
I
in
wanna
property
buy
alone?
a social media company. I'm really into influence right now, and influencing the media is a great way to influence society. And this is where I can take the loan thing that we talked about earlier to a whole new level. Yes, I could sell a bunch of my stock to get cash to buy the social media company. Or I can do what Elon Musk did and take out a giant loan. Billions of dollars that I don't have to pay taxes on, that is based on my vast fortune. Musk was about to take out a loan of $12.5 billion, but then ended up taking about half that to buy Twitter. And this is what's wild, is the loan thing,
Which is
at
a great
this level,
purchase.
I can plan to just do this forever. I never have to pay off these loans. I never have to sell off any of my stock. I could keep paying down the interest so it doesn't compound, but even if I don't, my fortune grows way faster than this debt accrues. And the real benefit of this happens when I get close to the end of my life. It's been decades. I have all these loans.
Step up basis?
Accrued interest. My fortune is growing way faster. And at the end of my life, I could sell a bunch of my portfolio, get a bunch of cash, and pay off all my loans before I die, so I don't leave my children saddled with all my loans. But I don't want to do that. because I would have to pay a huge amount of taxes if I did. And if you haven't noticed, I don't like taxes. My goal now, as I get close to the end of my life, is to set my family up to inherit my vast fortune in the most advantageous way possible. So I max out the gifting exemption. There's like $14 million I can do there, but that's like a drop in the bucket. I'll set up some trusts that technically remove control of my wealth and pays out a certain amount to the named beneficiaries, like my children and grandchildren, over a period of time, potentially forever. But watch this. My portfolio is a vast fortune that is mostly loaded with unrealized gains, meaning this is all money that has grown in the market. I haven't paid taxes on it yet because I haven't taken it out. The moment I take it out, I have to pay taxes. But what I can do is when I die, I can give this giant fortune to my daughter, let's say. And the moment I give it to her, boom, the clock resets. She inherits that fortune, and suddenly it's as if she has zero gains, meaning she could sell this entire portfolio on day one and pay no taxes. Those unrealized, untaxed gains disappear, never to be taxed. And yes, there is a big estate tax that I have to pay when I die, but my army of wealth managers have figured out a way to buy an insurance policy that will pay that tax for me. Anyway, I'm not dead yet. Let's talk about yachts. Because at this point, at $100 billion, I can get the top of the line.
Ooh!
Look at this 600-foot long,
that's a real yacht.
$600 million yacht. This thing has a crew of 80 people. It can cross the Atlantic without refueling. It's got a pool, a helipad, a movie theater, a golf training room, because, you know, I gotta practice my swing when I'm out in the Atlantic. I pay my crew super well. Many of my crew stay on board my yacht for years. Oh, and did I mention that it's not just the yacht?
You won't be relatable to broke
this
Zoomers.
Little shadow barge that follows my yacht around when we're out
Golf's
to
not
sea.
dead.
It carries extra
Billionaires
fuel,
are practicing
so we
on
can
their
be out
yacht.
on the water longer. It also keeps some of my car collection. Oh, what's that? You're burning to hear about my car collection? I have 2,000
Oh
cars.
my God.
This giant
I
collection
hate
is worth
this.
around 200 million.
I hate it's especially a boomer obsession. I guess maybe it's a wealthy obsession because boomers have the wealth, but it feels like a boomer thing more than anything to care about cars. I don't get it. To care about cars, to have so many more cars than you can ever possibly drive. I don't get it. It's such a weird use of money. Just garages filled with cars. If you're a super car guy, I could see having, you know, a few that you like and drive. But the collecting of it is so, I feel like no one else cares. It's such a stupid. I think it's
$1 million. It's kind of my hobby. Another real example from this.
Like the Jay Leno thing, I think is so embarrassing.
The line. There's something else I got my eye on. This super yacht airship crossover that's straight out of Star Trek. I want this thing, especially because the article says that quote crossovers can be oodles of fun when done right. I want oodles of fun. My super yacht's starting to look boring because I have to stick to the sea. But with this crossover, I can go anywhere because it literally turns into a blimp and goes onto land, and it costs about $1 billion. And yes, it's got all the bells and whistles, a pool, a sauna, a gym, a helipad, tenders.
Going into a fucking blimp so you can swim in the pool. You don't have to add a pool to every mode of transportation. It's absurd, dude.
And a nice big garage for my cars. And yeah, we gotta talk about my private jet. Oh, sorry, private jets. I have 3 of them, and they're all huge. My favorite one is this one.
Broke talk? I guess I'm broke.
This is the ACJ 350. It's got a cabin that's 167 feet long. Over 3,000 square feet of floor space on this sucker. I bought this thing for $360 million. And I spent another $100 million just to renovate the interior because I wanted a spa on board. I mean, totally worth it, right? Oh, and on a more grave note, I had to make a deal with my pilot that in case of the apocalypse, which I think about a lot, I'll let him and his family come with me to my compound. Like if we have to escape, I need to guarantee that I have a pilot to fly me away in case like the mob comes knocking. Where will I fly? Oh, I've got some options. I've got bunkers all over the place.
Oh, nice.
Some of them have
Multiple
airstrips,
bunkers.
so I can just fly right to them. My favorite one is in New Zealand.
Dude, it's just so funny seeing these bunkers compared to the ones before, because the ones before look like fucking Motel 6s. Like, there's some people that are worth $1 billion that are going to get fucking mogged in the apocalypse. They're going to be living like fucking rats, dude. They're living so poor compared to this. It's going to feel bad.
Some of them have
Gabe
airstrips.
Newell's going to be fucking mogging. It's going to be embarrassing. You might as well die in the apocalypse, bro.
I can just fly right to them. My favorite one is in New Zealand, where a lot of us ultra wealthy are burying bunkers. This thing is buried underground. It's got a pantry, a gun room, a surgery station. This thing only cost me $8 million to build. But that's not including the couple $1,000,000 I had to invest in New Zealand for several years to qualify for an investor visa. So they'll like let me into their airspace. My other bunkers include huge pieces of land in Hawaii, where I have a huge full-time staff, including
the
a person who
Zuckerberg
raises my Wagyu cattle, just like my buddy Mark Z.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got one too.
There you go.
We love Wagyu and hydrofoils. When I say and hydrofoils, cut to him on the hydrofoil out in the... We got this, Mark. Okay, but I'm not all doom and gloom apocalyptic. It's just a backup plan. I have hobbies too, but my hobbies have turned into kind of reality bending projects. Like, I want to go to space.
I feel super connected to love.
I want to create my own libertarian nation in the South Pacific. I've got the money to do it. I have like more money than a lot of nations. Or I could throw my money at wild, innovative ideas, like making human brains talk to computers or finding ways for humans to live forever. My security team is
really
now
want that.
huge, dozens and dozens of professionals,
That's the
many of
Putin
them
in
former
chief.
Navy SEALs. And it's hitting me that at this level, I have so much money, I can actually make a huge impact.
If any billionaires are watching, and I know most of you are, in the post-apocalyptic world, you're going to need one thing most of all, and that's streaming. You're going to need entertainment. Like, 100% you're going to need a spot in your bunker for someone to make content so that you can get on Apocalypse Tube and watch a new update of Marketing Monday, for example. Like that. So my business email is on my YouTube. I think you need to reach out and make sure that I'm well provided for in the New Zealand bunker. Apocalypse Monday. It is so funny. Me streaming to an audience of one person every day. I have to nonstop be streaming in case they want to tune in. That's actually hell, dude. That's hell.
In the world. I have the ability to give away over $19 billion of my wealth, no strings attached, to help change the lives of underrepresented people like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife did. I could put billions of dollars in...
And I'm still donut walling. I'm not reading the gifties from the one person.
into eradicating infectious diseases and focusing on improving maternal and child health funding like Bill and Melinda Gates have done. It's a lot of power that I have to affect what public health initiatives get done. Or I could pour my philanthropic money into foundations that get me tax benefits and serve my own ventures and are completely controlled by me and my family. I could do either. And my level of influence is not just in the philanthropic causes I can fund. I also rub shoulders with the most influential decision makers in the world. Did I mention that as a part of my real estate portfolio,
Jesus.
I've got this huge swath of beach in
I really don't
Florida
like Larry
where
Ellison.
I've created an enclave for the rich. It's right next to the president's Florida residence, and it's where I make sure that I rub shoulders with them.
It's very good that this guy's about to own Warner Brothers Discovery, CNN, possibly TikTok America. I think that's awesome. I think that's fucking cool. I'm glad that he will have so much influence over all of the media. Paramount, yeah. I think that's cool. And I'm hopeful.
The right people. This election cycle, I'm going to spend almost $300 million on getting my favorite candidate elected to be president. That seems like a lot. Is that legal? Actually, yes. Look, I have a front row seat to the inauguration, and the president is giving me the job I've always wanted, which is taking a chainsaw to the federal government.
Yes.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Chainsaw! Wow, well, that was quite the journey. If there's one thing I've learned on my journey
And he
from
did it.
100 million to $100 billion, it's that wealth begets more wealth. That's why I did all those like tax calculations and debt to show you that when you have wealth and ownership of assets in a capitalistic system, you become impervious. You can build
in
a
any
fortress
system, R
of
greater
wealth
than G.
that just keeps growing. And then once you have that fortress,
In all of human history,
it allows
R greater
you
than G.
to influence government and policy and media that then serves your interests to get more wealth. All while opportunities, wages, and resources stagnate for the majority. This isn't a broken system. This is a system working exactly how it was designed by policy choices and decisions. And it might strike you as unfair. I think it is, but I also think it's really dangerous. It's exactly the type of concentration that creates a politics of grievance and anger and resentment and hopelessness, all so that a few people can have access to their fancy boats and exclusive parties.
That part's true. And I think all of us would make that sacrifice, to be honest. I think if you polled each person and said, would you sacrifice a little bit or a lot to ensure that Gabe Newell can have a land party yacht? They would do it. It's worth it. It's a worthwhile cause. Steam's Black Friday deals are live. Holy, it was worth it. Wait, what are the best deals? I'm going to buy like 8 games that I won't play. Black Friday. What are the deals, bro? God of War, 60% off. Dave the Diver, 45. Silent Hill F. What is Fellowship? Friendslop? Little Nightmares 3? What a small Black Friday deal. I like Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Risk of Rain, Doom the Dark Ages, Ash and Steel, Elder Scrolls Remastered, Ready or Not, Blueprints. I feel like Blueprints was $20 when I bought it. Are they doing like the fucking Black Friday Best Buy thing where they raise the price then lower the percent? Am I crazy? I feel like this was $20 when I bought it. This is like a fake sale. Interesting. Thief Legacy of Shadow VR, Deus Ex Remastered? I love Deus Ex. Does it actually look good? Not really. I mean, the new graphics aren't. I love that game, but releases 2026, huh? Pre-purchase. Yeah, like I thought it would be a whole new engine or something. This doesn't look that. Top sellers? What's top seller? What's moving and shaking on Steam right now? A Steam Deck? 20% off? I already bought one of those. Ari's such a gamer now. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Liza P DLC. Oh, you know what I just bought? I bought Dispatch. I want to play that. I want to play Dispatch, bro. Everyone's telling me it's so fun. Dispatch. High key. Yeah, I don't need to buy anything else. I want to play Dispatch. Where's your head? My brother bought this. He just bought this. Anno Pax Romana. He loves like city builder type games, but the reviews are fucking mixed. I have to ask him how it was. Is it good? I don't know. I don't know. He just told me he bought it because we used to play like Rome city builders as kids growing up. But that's pretty bad, right, for a brand new release. Campaign was too short. He probably is more of a sandbox guy than a campaign guy, so he might like it. If that's the fucking problem. Skyrim is on sale. I'm not playing fucking zillennials and opportunities to buy Skyrim again. Fucking bat chest. Holy. The greatest thrill of your life is to buy Skyrim one more damn time. Oh, shit. The Marketing Monday on the main channel's a 1 out of 10? Wait a minute. A 1 out of 10? What's going on in this crazy country of ours? Oh, I gotta make this shit for the clips. More red arrows. Bro, I really liked doing a live presentation. I kind of want to do it again. I kind of want to do just a live Marketing Monday and sell tickets and like put even more time into it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was it was fun because there was a live crowd and like you got a reaction. Like it was like I enjoyed it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I've limited myself on things that I could like. The tickets will be $30,000. Just $30,000. Okay. Dude, you know what I really want to do is sell tickets to me sitting on stage reacting to Smallville. I want everyone to pay like $49.99 to show up to a theater and we watch Smallville, and then I sit up there and giggle. That would be fucking awesome. That would be awesome. Dude, that actually be a funny video just to try to do. All right, chat. I am going to end for tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you very, very much for watching. I have a presentation tomorrow. I almost had it done for today, but didn't quite. It's about the new, this idea of the new poverty line possibly being $140,000. It's obviously a clickbait title, but there's some real interesting math in it, and I'm breaking it down. So that'll be what I'm discussing tomorrow. It was a pretty compelling piece by Mike Green, and I wanted to break it down for you. So that's tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Much love. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to Johnny Harris for that video. You know, it engendered some interesting discussion. Thanks, guys, for submitting clips. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I also really wanted to talk about how they revealed the location of a lot of spam bot accounts on Twitter. But I'll do that. Remind me of that tomorrow. A lot of that stuff. Dude, they found out like a lot of people are from like fucking Russia and Nigeria and the UAE. And like, they're like, yeah, I'm just a Midwestern fan of God and country. I thought that shit was wild, bro. So we'll cover that. Anyway, goodbye. Maisie, good to see you. See you tomorrow. Peace. Deuces.